This is a Kmart Studios production, sponsored by MJB Electric and Doug's a Chiropractic. Welcome to the ZA Bills podcast. If this is your first time, we discuss everything Buffalo Bills. Thank you and enjoy the show. Go Bills.
Listeners' discretion is advised. ZA Bills podcast.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live! Fucking thing sucks!
In 5, 4, 3.
All right, folks. We are back. It's ZA Bills Emergency Pod, I guess. Martin Luther King holiday. And big news in Buffalo.
One Bills drive.
Yeah, we will get to that in a second. However, the Bills unfortunately did lose Saturday afternoon evening at a score of 33-30. I got a panel here today of Sean, Joe, and Tim, and we'll dive into why we lost, what we could have done better, and then we're going to get into the Sean McDermott and what do the Bills do next, and we'll start off with that. All right. Joe, let's hear what you have to say first about the loss. I will say that Josh Allen did not play his best football, and unfortunately, we lasted in the game too long to let referees decide our fate. Is that a fair?
Fair, but I could also picture it if you goes the other way with referees. You can say Josh Allen did not have his fastball, but still overcame all of that, threw a dime to Brandon Cooks.
Okay.
And got them in overtime and also got them down the field to kick a game tying after a defense gave up another touchdown when you were up 4 points.
Okay.
With 55 seconds. He came back, got the game to overtime, threw a dime, would have put him at the 20, game-winning kick.
Yep.
And the narrative would be that way.
Right.
So
also the game
Take the narrative the way that you want to take the narrative.
Sure. They could have also ended it in regulation, too.
Yeah, I mean, if you call penalties and stuff like that, too. I mean, if you're going to go that way, the pass interference on the 1, I wouldn't have called it and put the ball on the 1 with 15 seconds left to give the Bills on Cooks. I was fine with the call. It's the playoffs. But then you give them 2 freebies to give them chip shot the other way. And there's a lot to swallow with that, and I understand I know on our text strain, me and Sean had a back and forth about this. I don't disagree with Sean's point. Sean was more of you left a team in, you should have buried them. I understand all of that. I get all of that stuff. They left the door open for it. But at some point, you have to just make the right call once. And you did it 2 other times yesterday.
I'm willing to have that debate. I'm willing to sit there and have that discussion about the pass interference, because for me, in the end zone, exactly what you're referring to, he's tugging at him. They haven't called pass interference any days. I know playoff games, the whistles, as they do in the NHL, kind of go away. But that's fine. Be consistent. To me, what happened in the end zone with the Buffalo Bills, where the ball should have been placed in the 1, was maybe slightly more egregious because he's grabbing the guy in the end zone. Pass interference called in either of the 2 that were called against Buffalo. And in the moment, I'm like, fine, they haven't called anything like that. So be it. This is the NFL in the playoffs. And then less than 3 minutes, 4 minutes later, the Bills get flagged for pass interference.
And to be fair, when we had the ball, on that drive where we went down and that play happened in overtime, Spencer Brown has a guy in a headlock, and it's technically a holding in the end zone and a 2-point safety, and the game's over.
Right.
So I can see it both ways. So when Denver goes back and say that, I'll be consistent and say, you do that.
Right.
But if you're not calling penalties, I'm pretty sure I could go back further and show holdings all the way back. Just be consistent. Right. That's why I agree with you. And also, don't turn the ball over. If Buffalo doesn't turn the ball over, you're there. I think the game, I know everybody goes, and I think everybody will agree with me that the turnover for the free 3 points at the end of the half was horrific. Gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
That, to me, wasn't the turnover that was gut-wrenching. The very first one.
Cook.
Yeah. You had them basically on their heels reeling. That game very easily could have been 14-3.
100%.
And it's a totally different game.
I'll take a field goal. I'll give me 10-3 if they get stopped. They were slicing through this defense that was imposing. We had talked about that the last week of the podcast. I was less concerned about Denver because they don't have the offense Jacksonville has, but they have a pretty stout defense, and the Bills were slicing through them like warm butter and a butter knife.
A butter lamb?
Butter lamb. Well, 'tis the season. And we were just, it was almost a perfect storm of greatness from their offense until they turned it over as many times as they did. And that's where, for me, when we were going back on the text chain, to me, the game was lost by the Buffalo Bills, not won by Denver. They were the Buffalo Bills played a New England Patriots, maybe even though they won Baltimore game where they just kept shooting themselves in the foot. And Josh Allen said it best: when you turn the ball over 5 times, you don't deserve to win.
Okay, Tim.
Unless you're the New England Patriots playing Houston.
Houston's terrible. I can't believe it. All right, Tim, let's hear what you got.
I would say that the game Saturday just leaves you pissed off.
100%.
You played about as crappy as you could have played. If you were playing a competent team, you would have gotten curb stomped like the 49ers did on Saturday night. The opportunity was there. You turned the ball over 5 times. And quite frankly, you're lucky you even survived to get to overtime. I mean, but at the end of the day, that game was probably almost as gut-wrenching as 13 seconds, knowing the quality of opponents you played and knowing that you pretty much gave it away.
I am frustrated also because the depth pieces that you have for, say, Cam Lewis goes out for a play, you bring in Savage, first play, touchdown. You have Trey White go out for cramping or whatever happened to him. First play, touchdown. You were here next to me. I said, if Trey White's out, Dane Jackson comes in, I go, watch, they're going to go right at him. And they did.
But I was okay with that.
Why are you okay with that?
Because the last thing you want is a touchdown with 4 seconds on the clock.
I'm just talking about the depth pieces
Me
that
too.
we have.
I
I'm not talking
totally
about
agree.
time of game.
But I'm talking about that point specifically. That was my biggest fear, is that they're going to score with like half a second left, and the Bills, Josh Allen will never see the field again.
But what does that tell you about preparation? All kidding aside.
Sean Payton-
Surtain goes out in the first quarter for about 4 or 5 plays. You run. You don't freaking throw out the backup.
Right?
Then
Two different
Lewis
plays.
goes out
Boom,
of play.
Touchdown.
Throw at the safety.
And that's the common trend in the NFL, to go after the new guy.
I mean, at the end of the day, we didn't go after the backup when they were in.
Right.
Yeah, we scored on the drive, but we didn't take it. We didn't go after that matchup.
Yeah, you got points on it, though. The Bills were this season, which was always, to me, frustrated, were beyond hurt and injured.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the commentary, like San Francisco got a free pass. They had 2 guys out, right? Are you serious? Like, I'll honestly sit here and say, to this day, the roster that was constructed in the offseason that was supposed to be the 53-man build, did that roster ever play any snaps together?
Week 1. No, okay, no, because Hurston was out. So
Hairston was out, and the 2 guys that you brought in were suspended for 6 weeks.
I get that, but that's the NFL. Like,
I understand that.
You have to have depth in your mind.
Yeah,
going back 5 years.
Yeah, but most of those teams that have those injuries are sitting at home. Look at KC. Why aren't they really in the playoffs? Why did they have the season in the start that they did?
'Cause
She Rice was suspended for the first 6 weeks, and they couldn't get over the hump.
Right.
You had Xavier Worthy hurt after the first week. They lost their 2 wide receivers,
Right.
and it cost them losses that got them to a point where they couldn't overcome it, and they're not in the playoffs.
But I'll say they also lost the elixir of winning one-score games. Like the year before when they were winning these fluke-ass games by 1 score, that flipped completely, regardless of who was there and who was not. That's what hurt them more than anything else.
But how are they any different than the Bills with the lack of depth? This is the problem you run into when you get the elite quarterback that has a huge contract. You better hit on those secondary
I think
depth
it's just
pieces.
it's anywhere. Like, okay, so we'll do this. I'll jump out. We'll still talk about the game, but I'm gonna use something that was said after the game. Shaq Thompson was asked. This was before all of the news that came out today. Was asked at locker clean out yesterday if he'd come back to play for the Bills. He said he enjoyed the culture and did everything, but wants to start here. Mm-hmm. So what are you doing? You benching your captain to have him come back and play one more year? Because that's a player that is your depth linebacker that's telling you, I want to be a starter in the NFL. Mm-hmm. You had Terrell Dotson that went to go play with Miami. These guys want to start. Mm-hmm. They don't want to be like the best guy that's coming off of the bench and not playing you're not going to get 48 starters on a roster. I don't care who you are. You're going to go play somewhere else, and you'd be an idiot not to, because you're not going to get paid to back up the guys that are starting.
Is Shaq Thompson a starter?
He played like one.
He played like one.
So you can't really discredit him for wanting to be a star when he played well.
I don't blame anyone in that situation.
Is Milano gone?
Yes.
I mean,
he's a free agent. You have no money. You're over the cap.
I think you have his rights for next season, but it's painful to take.
Oh, like a lot of dead cap, you mean?
Yes.
Or is he one of those ones with one of those opt
He
years
signed
at the
a
end?
He signed a 2-year deal. It's better for the Bills to get out after the second year. You can sign him, but you're going to sign him at a pretty high level. So if you wanted to keep Milano, you're extending Milano out more than just this season, if you're looking at his contract.
And the odds
and
of him
it's too.
being
I will
healthy.
almost agree with you that he's basically a free agent, because it's painful to just say we're going to finish out your contract. Like you have to do something.
Yeah.
Like the Bills aren't just going to be like, okay, you're back, and pay that.
And let's also be realistic. Oh, wait, I don't want to jump to the next topic.
No, go ahead. What?
Well, I was just going to say, we don't know what the coaching staff is going to look like next year or the philosophy.
Right.
So who even knows who fits and who doesn't fit? Because quite frankly, some of these guys are here because Sean McDermott pounded the table for them. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily because they fit every single team's system and philosophy.
Just mute that. It's like we're at the movies.
Getting back to the game itself, it's a hard pill to swallow, because I think the defense played well. I mean, they had 16 points off, overachieved for what they were. The offense obviously put up 30, but still could have put up probably 50.
So my question to you about
on
that,
the second best defense in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and they ran the ball down their throats. Never happened this year. So let me ask you this: defense up until halftime holds them to 30. Our offense scores 30. Who of the two is the side of the football that failed?
Oh,
Defense.
offense.
Oh,
100%.
I had this discussion with our friend, former podcast resident, Chris Woody.
Okay.
And he said that, because we were debating a little bit about should McDermott have gone, right? And I'd love to go back over our podcast history of who's loved McDermott and has yelled at me for saying that we don't need the guy. And I thought he was a truther for McDermott. Mm-hmm. And he goes, listen, your defense let 30 in. I said, yeah, but your offense scored 30. I go, so what is the standard? All NFL defenses should hold teams under 25?
Well, look at the games that just played out this
I think
week.
it's game to game.
You score 30, who's the only team you don't beat? There's two. The Denver Broncos and Seattle.
Yeah.
Oh, the only two that score for there. I see what you're saying.
I get
Okay.
that. Where I push back is that you gave them 5 opportunities in turnovers with great field position, and the best you could. And with 5 turnovers, you gave up a total of 16 points. That's a minor miracle.
Well,
You
mean
do, but they weren't
17?
all.
Was it 17 total points on
Field
off the
goal.
turnovers?
Field goal. And then the touchdown off of Cook's
is
fumble.
16.
That's 10.
Right?
yeah, but even
Or
the
is it
off,
17
but even
points?
off, but even off the Cook field or fumble,
That's in.
you had to drive what?
they had to
70
go.
yards?
The
After-
Josh pick
Not
went
even.
the entire field.
Right.
They went the entire field on that.
Correct.
That's
And-
not like
and
you
even-
threw it at the.
Yeah,
One of the turnovers you stopped was in the red zone, right? That you gave up 3 points to, right? You
Right.
gave them a free 3.
Right.
correct. But I mean, other than that, they had to drive the whole field.
But it's a different game defensively if you're up 6 instead of up 3. Do you know what I mean?
I get that, but that goes to it's not that way for Houston. Houston rolls out their defense. That was the only thing that was doing. Like they're still curb stomping the other team.
I get it. I get
You
it.
can't sit there and say we need our offense to give us a 14-point lead for
Right.
us to have good defense.
But you can't turn the ball over 5 times and say, okay, defense, tag, you're in again.
Right.
Without
It's the
and
Manning-
they took the ball once. They took the ball
Manning's
once.
part to me is I think both share some blame.
Well,
I was
that's
just
fair.
wondering,
But
there is no magical number of.
I think the
But
offense
if the-
takes a little bit more blame. If you're going blame,
Thank you for agreeing with me over Tim.
I think the offense takes a 60
40.
40, if that, or 55 45. I can see, and I'm going more of historical with Tim, where I'd say defense. The Bills have lost how many games, and the offense has scored how many points, and why were you labeled, if you wanted McDermott here, as a truther? What was the number one thing that everybody accused you of doing? What does his defense do in the playoffs? How many points do they give up?
30.
I get
And
it.
at the end of the day,
I
they
get
gave
it.
up 33.
I get it. But if they're able to play a normal game where they're not defending their lives and the offense can take care of the ball, do you think? Let's
You
cut
do
it
that,
in
but let's
half.
go out. Okay, so let me go.
Let me take back 2 turnovers.
Fine, I'll give you 2 turnovers.
Okay.
but you're
No,
gonna
I'll
have
give you
to
3.
Answer my question.
I'll give you 3. If the Bills win, if the Bills only turn the ball over 3 times, do they win the game? In your opinion?
I think they won
Instead
the
of 5.
game regardless turning the ball
I-
over 4
I-
times.
so-
if you're
right.
asking me, I told you I'd die on a hill. They won the game.
I get it.
And the NFL took it from
I
them.
get it.
So that's where I'm at. So that's my context of this.
Right.
My question for you is the Bills gave up 30 to Denver. How did the Chargers do playing their backups against Denver the week 18?
19 to 3.
Right.
And I mean, when
I
you
get
look-
it. I get it.
But
Tim.
look at this defense. The end of the first half and end of the second half. Buffalo kicks a field goal with 2:13 left. You let Denver go 70 yards in a minute 20. Score a touchdown. You look at the end of the game. You got a 4-point lead. You let them drive right downfield and score.
Yep.
At the end of the day, when you need to stop,
They didn't do
they
it.
didn't do it. And you have a head coach that is supposed to be like a defensive expert. And at the end of the day, when you get to crunch time, how many times has that defense let another team score in the playoffs when you have the lead going into the fourth quarter? It happened last year at the Chiefs. It happened 2 years ago in the when you look at it end to end and you look at the playoffs, these losses, most of the time it's you take the lead into the fourth quarter, and it's not the offense that buckles, it's the defense. Yes, the offense may have let you down this week with 5 turnovers, but for the most part, the points they scored off turnovers, they drove 70, 80 yards. You look at overtime, they drove 75 yards to kick that game-winning field goal? I mean,
With, two penalties for 45 yards and PI?
but either way, at the end of the day, you need your defense to step up.
I hear-
And when
okay.
you have a
Yep.
defensive head coach
get it.
and your offense puts up 30 points on the number 1 defense, even if they turn the ball over 40 or 5 times, there's no reason you can't expect to stop and get out of there.
And the injury on defense that I know you said there were 2, the safety and our quarterback that went out, and they went out and got 2 touchdowns, picked on them twice. Truly the injury that I think hurt the Bills the most was the very first play of the game.
Dorian
Yeah.
Williams.
Dorian Williams.
Because then you saw
Oh.
more Teron Johnson and nickel
Yep.
than you would have seen.
And Taylor
and
Johnson
you
didn't have a good
basically
year.
couldn't do pay.
Well-
You couldn't do some of the exotics that they were going to do with Hoyt, and they did for Hoyt with seven
Yeah. For,
seven
Is he
quarters
okay?
of
Does
play.
anyone know if Dorian Williams was all right? He was taken to the
haven't
hospital,
seen
wasn't
anything
he?
on him.
Haven't seen anything outside.
And at the
of-
end of the day, he was probably your spy on Knicks.
Yeah.
He's your speed linebacker. He played spy last week, some on Lawrence. So
Never even thought about that.
that, and I think that Maxwell Harrison injury at the end of
Yep.
Yeah.
I lost my mind.
those are your two.
I
big
lost my
but-
mind.
But you don't really have that roster flexibility by the time you get to week 18.
Right.
You got 2 practice squad roster call-ups, and I get the fact that the NFL won't let you call up more, but part of me thinks if you already have a playoff spot clinched, you should be able to call up as many guys as you want off the practice squad, but the NFL doesn't want to water down product.
I agree. I do think there's going to be some serious discussion about that in the NFL.
Yeah, but we got rid of our guy that
Right.
had an input on it.
I know.
So,
What are you doing over there?
I'm checking to see if I got Dorian Williams.
no,
update.
there was nothing as
He's
of this
looking
morning.
at. What are you planning your classroom tomorrow?
That's what I'm doing. I'm
Oh,
hoping,
don't-
checking the weather.
Does he got his pajamas? He got everything on the inside out today? Is that why he wanted to take his jacket off?
I'll
Put
tell
the
you.
ice cube in the toilet.
Yeah, I mean that hurt. They knocked their guy out too on that same play. He was done for the whole game, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was one of those things that yeah. I mean, it was maddening. I do think I don't want to get too far ahead. I do think that no matter who the Bills were going to play, the Texans or the Patriots, they were going to beat them. Even with the injuries, even with whatever, I thought it was a done deal. Where I'm able to kind of salvage this a little bit is I don't think whoever comes out of the NFC, I think
They're going to
regardless,
steamroll him.
I think the Buffalo Bills would have lost again
All I'm going to say is this.
to either Seattle or the Rams. They would have been the underdog. I would not have liked their chances against either of those teams.
I like him better than any of the teams still left.
Correct, 100%,
AFC.
100%.
Is was San Francisco that bad or Seattle that good?
I think
Or both?
add a carrot. I'll just say Seattle or San Francisco was that injured on top of it. They just didn't have enough runway.
They're the first team that shut down CMC.
Oh,
If you take away CMC,
Yeah,
San Francisco is nothing.
Jacksonville did.
Oh, well.
That's how they were in a curb stomp us. That's
Right.
why they all thought they were going to win by two scores.
Right.
They took care of CMC. When Kittle got hurt, that was it.
That hurt a
That
lot.
was the
He
last
was, he
one.
was their safety valve.
yeah. So I mean, they were scary when they were healthy, but arrested Seattle after they had already beaten San Francisco. I didn't really give them much of a
And
chance.
I don't necessarily think they were as scary as everybody says.
San Francisco,
Yes.
healthy. To me, it's healthy.
What place schedule did they play?
I get it.
I think
I
we
get
need
it.
to do a little bit more of a deep dive.
I get it.
When you're the 4th place team the year before, your schedule is basically cupcake. And when you start
I get
beating
it.
other perennial 4th place teams that, especially when you're a good team.
Yeah.
what were the Patriots
San Francisco,
last year?
4th. This is the Patriots thing. I think
I
Gerard
thought you were
Mayo
talking
has
San Fran.
as much of the success that the Patriots have this year as he contributed it last year by getting them into a 4th place spot,
Right.
so that they could beat the tar out of everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So what you're saying
But
is
we
the
drew-
Bills need to be last in the division
You need
next
to suck,
year,
yes.
Yeah,
to
but-
then win it the following year.
Yes.
But this year you had the easiest
Mm-hmm.
2 conferences you drew. You drew
You
the
did.
you
I'm
drew
not
the
saying
AFC North and you drew the
And
NFC
they-
South, the 2
and they went
weakest contract
12 and
or
5.
conferences.
They
Correct.
still won 12 games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the NFL, 12 games isn't.
Yeah.
That's a successful season.
Yeah. And if you went before the season, you said the Bills finished 12 and 5, playing Baltimore before
Kansas
the
City.
Kansas City.
Eagles.
You had the Eagles, and you also had Burrow and Cincinnati.
yeah.
Burrows.
Correct.
Burrows. Any Bills fan would have taken 12
Mm-hmm.
and 5 in the beginning. And to be honest with you, I'll sign up for 12 and 5 next year. And every year moving forward, because 12 and 5 gets you into the playoffs.
What divisions we have next year on our
It's a
schedule?
tougher schedule.
It's a tougher
No, I'm
schedule.
trying to think what divisions we drew.
Oh, you have the. Do we have the West? AFC West? Right? And
Kansas
the
City.
NFC East? Or no?
No, it's
No.
not the East because the Eagles were the odd game this year. So,
I
you
think
got
we're
the
playing them.
What do you got?
you got the Detroit-Chicago division.
Bills for...
No, it's just Rex Ryan
Oh,
supporting
Rex
Mike.
Ryan wants Bill Belichick,
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what?
Buffalo.
Let's move it on.
I would try it for a year. Why
I
not?
would.
What are you drinking down there?
Just so I could sit there and say I was the first one to come up with that
Tell
idea.
you why you wouldn't do it for a year.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Well, they did that for the girlfriend,
He gave that a run.
so she could hang out with.
He gave that a run. I mean, he
her-
gave it a run.
I'm using it as why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
What was the success in North Carolina? Give me the Cleveland Browns before that. Give me any time
I know.
outside of Tom Brady as his quarterback.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry, but isn't Josh Allen just as
Yeah.
good as Tom Brady?
that's what I was going to say.
Oh, we got
You
him.
have to get a good OC to do that. And I still think
Mike McDaniel.
you're still not that. You're talking, and I'm not saying that Josh isn't at GOAT level yet. No, Josh isn't as good as Brady is right now.
What? Seriously, you don't think that?
How can you say that he is?
You
I
can
thought
Brady
you were a
won
Josh
how
Allen
many-
truther.
you can have that debate. Like I think there's valid points on both
Okay,
sides.
you're right. I thought you were.
Are you
higher
serious?
On Josh.
Like as much as I love Josh Allen and I think he is very good at what he does, and
Yeah.
he has the potential to keep going and doing that. Brady set a bar super high, and
Right.
Josh has not gotten to that yet.
Okay, question, hypothetical. Switch out Tom Brady prime and Josh Allen in this game. Does Tom Brady decimate the Broncos on that team?
Oh yeah, but I don't think
Doesn't miss.
Yes.
Doesn't throw Shakir low.
Yes.
Doesn't overthrow. Knocks
no
wide open.
No, and
That's two touchdowns.
I know, but this is a transition. I don't want this to be a transitional piece. They win because they know how to coach, and they know exactly. They have a game
Bro,
plan.
you missed the whole question. It's
I know,
switch
I
Allen and Brady.
know.
That's it. Switch the two. That's it.
Yes. I'll
What
agree
era?
with that.
What era of Tom Brady am I getting? Because I'm not
third or fourth Super Bowl.
All right.
Yeah.
So because
With the
everybody
Patriots.
sits, is Josh Allen peaked? Anybody at the table think Josh Allen is peaked?
When he starts hitting those throws in clutch situations like he missed Saturday, then I'll say he peaked.
I think he
So
peaked.
I think he's got a ceiling still.
I think he peaked under the current regime.
Okay. All right. I like it.
I don't think he's peaked. He's 29.
Under the
Everybody
cur-
giving me this garbage that he's done. Are you out of your mind?
No.
At what age do you think he can keep realistically playing where he loses what he loses?
Take
got
Brady,
11 more years.
Take Brady out of the equation. Manning doesn't win it until year 9. I don't think Elway wins it until well after year 9.
He's in his 30s. He's not even in.
There is a precedent where, again, these elite quarterbacks take time to win a Super Bowl or get there. Or whatever.
Okay, so back to my question. 35-year-old Tom Brady in that game Saturday, does Tom Brady make those clutch throws
Yes.
and win the game
Yeah.
for the Bills?
Yeah. His reputation.
I would say yeah, right?
I would, yeah.
I think
What do
it's
you mean,
No,
Because
No.
why? Too many running plays with Josh's legs to keep him in the game?
because you don't have the horses to dink and dunk down the field like Tom Brady had in New England.
I think you have the same dink and dunk horses
Yeah.
in the game.
I
Tom
think-
Brady, if I'm doing this objectively, Tom Brady sees the game way better than Josh Allen sees the game. Anybody disagree with that?
Don't.
Currently right now.
Nope. No.
Right?
Not finding
Josh
that.
Allen is way better physically
Sure.
than Tom Brady is.
But I would argue at the end of the day, Tom Brady trusted his defense and didn't feel like he had to put the whole team on his shoulders in order to win.
right. Took what they gave him.
100% that was part of it.
So I don't know. Does Tom Brady trust the Bills' defense? I guess that's what it comes down to. Because when I see overtime, him taking the 40-yard shot downfield, it's because I feel like I got to make a play to win.
Are you
not
inferring
because I
that-
don't trust the defense?
Are you inferring that Josh Allen didn't trust the defense and that's why
Yes.
he put the cape on?
Yes.
On all sides, front and
Yes.
back?
Yes, and
He put the smock on and the cape.
he put the smock, the cape, the whole 9 yards. Like
He put on Quail Man's hat. You know that one, Sean?
I do not
Maybe
know.
Quail Man?
Quail Man.
Nickelodeon? Doug?
Oh, it's been a while since the
I-
Doug references come up.
I think there's evidence from today that the offense did not trust the defense.
Well, then if that was the mindset
Because-
going in, they did a shit job of setting the defensive up for success.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you got to expect
Just a
your defense
shit
picking
job.
the ball up at the 20-yard line in overtime. You got to expect your defense to get a stop.
I get it.
70 yards with 2
I
minutes
get
and
it.
6 seconds left. You got to expect your defense to get a stop.
I get it, and they did everything humanly possible.
Who's Barker B?
But if you give them
Oh,
16
never mind.
free points on a silver platter, you're letting your defense down. The defense,
Your defense still let up
three
14
of those,
points.
Three of
to
those points,
a crappy
the defense,
offense.
3 of those points, the defense wasn't even out there to defend because they went right from a turnover to a special teams field goal.
I'll give you 3.
But you got a crappy
I'll give you
offense.
3.
They
They
couldn't.
still gave up 30 more on top of
I
that.
get it.
They couldn't even score more than 20 points on a backup on all
I
the
get
Chargers
it.
backups. I mean, at the end of the day,
I get it. But when you give them
It's-
great field position, what do you expect?
great field position.
They
Yes.
didn't have great field possession.
You scored off the Cook fumble. They drove 70 yards.
Uh-huh.
You
He
scored
threw
off.
a deep bomb to Brandon Cooks that got picked off.
picked off at
he
the
threw
10
it
or
in the center
15.
field.
It's like the 19-yard line.
Uh-huh.
Like at the end of the day,
Those
you
are-
can't let a team drive 70, 80 yards.
I get it. The one play they're culpable for is a 24-yard run on like second down, and then that was prior to the pass interference
So-
call. That one they've got to own.
I just look at, you're giving the defense like the bar that's like the kindergarten level bar and
I
holding
get
the
it.
offense to like a...
You know,
That's what happens when you don't take care of the ball.
but at the end,
What, so the bar goes down?
Yes, it was high school football.
Usually
from
if
the
you
offensive
win,
side of the ball.
that means the other side's got to step up and pick up
it
a
was-
team.
I get that once, twice, 3 times, 5 times. I got to
Have
pick
you
up.
watched the Bills for how
I
many
get
years
it.
and watch the offense pick the
I-
defense
I
up
get it.
and be like, are you effing kidding
I
me?
know.
Let's keep going?
I
It's
totally
weird.
get
It's
that.
definitely
I
weird.
totally get that. But if the game plan was for you to win this on, we're gonna need to. It's either our offense versus their stout defense, and we've got to show up. You let the organization down. Josh said it himself. Josh, I love you. I still will always love you, just as much as Haley.
Josh
but
has said
Josh,
that he's lost all the KC games where he was
I get it.
perfect. He's never come
I
out
get
and
it.
said it wasn't me.
but he
When he's
took
thrown,
full responsibility for this one. Josh took full
I
responsibility.
blame Romo and Nance for showing the 6 games without a turnover.
I get
'cause
it.
They knew damn well he was
dude.
going to
They
turn
did
it
nothing
over.
but jinx them the entire
Broadcaster
time.
jinx.
But that's typical Buffalo. I get it. But to sit there and put the blame, I get it. But sit there and let the offense off the hook entirely.
I'm not letting him
for
off the hook.
5 turnovers.
I started out and said that both sides of the ball were at fault for them losing.
I get it.
Both sides of the ball.
And you agreed it was 60-40 defense. I'm sorry, offense.
if
No,
I had
that's
to pick,
who
it was
had
50.
to score more points or defend more points.
I'm saying they both. Yes, you could maybe push me off a little bit, but to sit there and say that they both sucked.
In a game they didn't need to.
Right.
Like in a game this is the game. I brought
don't
it up.
think you're also looking at the fact of we've talked about the Buffalo injuries, and we talk about the Buffalo not having any wide receivers, and that was like the big thing this whole season. Who the hell was Denver throwing the ball to?
Cortland Sutton?
They have a few talented
They came out
receivers, I'd like to
targeting-
say. Cortland Sutton, veteran. Oh, sorry, you want to go?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, that was still there.
Cortland Sutton. They got Marvin Mims, and then they have Troy. I don't even know if Troy Flinker played. But
No, he was
He got
hurt.
hurt.
Got
And
hurt
they-
and was out for the
First lucky
majority
for
of the
them.
game. That's my point.
And their first 3 passes were to Pat Bryant, and he got knocked out with a
He got knocked
concussion out of the
concussion.
I only know Cortland Sutton and Marvin Mims. And
They were down 2 wide receivers for 3/4 of the game.
Mm-hmm.
3/4 of the game, you're without 2 wide receivers. That's not like the Bills. Yes, you're down 3, but you found like other guys to go in. That's not like they didn't get to call in a practice squad elevation mid-game. You're playing with 4 wide receivers, 3 wide receivers the rest
Joe,
of the
let
game.
me ask you this question because I forgot where you're at in the stance. You were a fan of what the Bills put together as a wide receiver room, or not a fan of what being put together? Or McDermott might have put that together.
I think McDermott put it together.
I guess we'll find out. Okay, so you were a fan of the wide receiver room or not a fan this year?
I think it was a wide receiver room that was geared to what the Buffalo Bills offense wanted to do.
Which is
Run.
Was
not throw to him.
Run the ball, block, and play dink and duck football like exactly like Denver's wide receiver room that I'm beating up on is no different than the Bills wide receiver room this season. And it's no different than the wide receiver rooms for lots of other teams that I said. I think it was... Listen, the one thing that I will say, if anything, of the bad things that you went out and you got 2 free agent wide receivers, Curtis Samuel and Joshua Palmer, and both of them have been hurt since you picked them up. So you spent the most of your money in the wide receiver room to 2 guys that have been basically hurt since they've been in Buffalo.
But those are the breaks, which goes back to, again,
that's how you look at it. Other people look at it that want to be on the wide receiver train and say, like, you picked up 2 guys that predominantly are hurt, and you should know that guys aren't going to get hurt.
Well, and they also pivoted a lot of their money and their resources and their time and their play on the field to their tight ends. Like, their tight ends play...
Good segue.
Okay.
Why did Kincaid not play the first half?
40%, I think he was. That was a number.
Was he hurt?
You mean why wasn't he targeted in the first half?
I didn't even see him on the field in the first half. Thank you to our watcher here, Mike Sirianni 7280. I don't know if we know that guy. Where was he? I didn't see him on the field. Was he on the field?
I watched the first half on my phone in Ohio while watching a soccer game, so I'm not the expert on this one. I can tell you how your kid did when he was playing, but I did follow some of the on-field action there. So my first half for me was blurry, and I was too hurt after watching the end of the game to actually go back and watch it.
Yeah, he was not noticeable at all. Like, I don't even think they targeted him in the first half. And I don't know if it was because he was injured.
6 for 6,
but they didn't really throw the ball in the first half either.
They didn't have to throw the ball in the first half.
I was shocked how well they ran the ball and how Cook was running it.
So, I think that's more, if you're running the ball, just to throw it is stupid.
Right.
So safe to think that because we were having success running the ball, you didn't have to bring in Kincaid to be Superman Jr.
You saw more Haas in that out there because of the blocking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think where they got hurt, though, is then you didn't have Shavers or Palmer that are 2 of the better blocking wide receivers.
I'm glad you
didn't have them.
I'm glad
Davis.
you said.
Yeah.
And
blocking.
so when you look at Palmer, but Palmer before he was signed was known as a good blocking wide receiver. Shavers earned his spot on this roster in part because of his ability to block.
Can I ask you a question?
Me, the
Can I
host?
throw it back at you? Yes.
Yes, please do.
What do you think of Hollins? Mac Hollins.
I like him as a guy. I just can't believe that him and Diggs will be getting into the Super Bowl, possibly. They're 1 game away from getting there before Josh Allen. And that bothers me.
I'm just saying,
Did you say Ben DiNucci's going to stop him?
Yes, I did.
When did you notice Mac Hollins in his career path?
When he came here, I didn't know who he was until he got here.
He had 1 good year with the Raiders.
He had a few good games.
He did. But why did you notice him here? What was his role here?
He was famous for his TikToks for science experiments, his antics walking into the stadium barefoot or shirtless, and he was a blocker.
He was on the field all the time blocking. I think that's where your wide receiver thing is. You want my opinion with it. Mac Hollins became a wide receiver here, and we can talk. I don't know when you want to transition because
we're almost there.
You're almost there. Do you want me to finish my point?
Go ahead, and then I might say some more.
I think Mac Hollins, Gabe Davis, all of these guys that you brought in to block, that you played, Shavers played more than anybody else. It sets a clear tone of what the coaches wanted your team to do.
Mission accomplished. Because they had the guy who basically won the rushing title for this year. So mission accomplished.
And look what I got you.
I get it. But I get it, but not for that game. He finished with 119 yards.
Yeah.
Again, another...
and lost.
I get it, but if you were to tell us that before the game, oh, hey, Cook's going to finish with 119, we'd sign up for that against that defense.
How many games did we lose when Cook ran for over 100? 0, right? Or 1? Well,
I think that's the first one.
That's the first one? That sucks.
Houston shut him down.
So let me ask you this. If now you think that this is wide receivers blocking to help the run game, is that because that's a McDermott scheme?
I'm on the that's a McDermott scheme.
I agree.
And Bean is not a fan of watching that because probably people want to kill him.
Bean has been quoted as saying you don't want to lose your fastball.
Let me ask you this then.
So what would you think your fastball is? If you're looking at the Buffalo Bills offense with Josh Allen, what's your fastball?
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Did we have our fastball this past 2 years?
No. And you could also argue that you drafted James Cook because of his pass catching, receiving, and you've turned him into a bell cow running back. You don't throw the ball to.
I'm confused where this is going.
So here's why I asked where we're going with this. Brandon Bean, multiple years ago, when they talked about the transition and everything, he goes, yes, it's fine to have, when they were talking about, obviously there was friction when Dable was here, right? Between Dable and McDermott.
Yep.
About running the ball. Who do you think won that one? McDermott, obviously. He's still here, right? Like, my rhetorical thing is McDermott won that battle. And after watching the last 2 years, McDermott won the battle of we were going to be a run-first team. The Bills were a run-first team. Statistically, this season, more than anything else, they were a run-first team.
Especially on first down.
Right? 80-20, everybody wanted to do run first. And I'm not saying that it's not right to be that way and to play 13 and to do all of that stuff, because there are teams that do it, and there's still teams in the playoffs that do it really well, both in the NFC West, playing for the NFC Championship. They both play that style, but they also both chuck the ball around the yard.
Right.
More than the Bills did this season.
Okay, so would Justin Jefferson type player or himself make sense coming into this offense, or does it now because McDermott is gone?
All
Now,
bets
maybe
are
this
off.
will be our segue into Coach McDermott's
Not
firing.
with Sean McDermott? No. Because he wants to run the ball. You go get a great wide receiver like that, they become disgruntled. It's probably what happened with Diggs.
That's a good point. You like that point? You agree with it?
Yeah, I think Diggs gets disgruntled anywhere.
Well, I meant
but
not just Diggs, but
Yeah,
the
but-
fact of
But he was
yes.
happy with Dable when they were chucking the ball to him.
chucking the rock.
Then all of a
over.
sudden,
Like,
you brought in Dorsey. He's chucking the ball. Then guess what? Dorsey's here no longer.
you know what?
I mean, if we want to go off of this, you can have the A.J. Brown discussion right now.
Ooh.
I meant any.
No, I go with the Brian Thomas discussion more
No,
than
but
A.J.
I'm
Brown.
not talking about bringing him in here. Why is A.J. Brown disgruntled?
They run the ball.
They run the ball.
Yeah.
They
But-
changed to a run the ball. They weren't until they got Saquon. They were a chuck the rock. It was him and it was Devontae Adams and Hurts. Hurts was your
Smith.
one running. He was your runner. They brought in Saquon. He ran for 2,000. They became a run first, throw the ball later.
Right. But his right hand's a little heavier from the ring that Saquon helped him win. You know what I
I
mean?
get that, but he is also sitting right now. Philly is sitting right now with, if they move on from him, which he
From who?
clearly
A.J. Brown?
A.J. Brown.
is $75 million in dead cap next year.
Ooh.
Well, hey man, you signed the contract. It doesn't mean we're moving you. But that's we're kind of getting off the point a little bit. If the
point
Bills
is that I was talking about your wide receiver build
Right.
with having a wide receiver one.
right.
You have to throw the ball. If you want the one wide receiver where you're talking Justin Jefferson, that's why I brought up A.J. Brown. You're not going to bring that guy in, and he's just going to for the love of the game route. Elijah Moore left because he didn't want to run the for the love of game route.
Right.
He left or we let him go?
He requested to be released.
Oh, I didn't see that. Did
Yes.
you know that?
He did request
Did you
after
know
they
that?
picked
Yes.
up Cooks.
Where the hell have I been?
Podcasting and editing.
Yeah, that's
let me ask you one thing. Do you think McDermott would have been comfortable had Bean pulled off the Waddle trade?
No. They wouldn't have used him.
I get it.
Because what McDermott want his McDermott scheme. I'm trying to toe the line here of getting to McDermott.
Waddle ain't gonna
Dean
block.
wants to change his
I get
team.
it. I get it. But you know what? Having a guy out there as a threat gives you options and can free up your ability to run. I don't think it has to be one or the other. I think they can
guys are
complement
missing
each
the
other.
Philosophy point of where this went to. You want to talk before me?
Make it good.
Does Brandon Cooks block?
He runs the for the good of the game route.
Yeah,
deep-
I
For
feel
the
like that's
love
what
of the game,
I feel like
right.
that's what Waddle would be doing.
He runs a lot of under crossers and gets killed.
Yeah, but if you put
And
Waddle
has
out,
a lot of games that are missed.
if you put Waddle out there for 40% of the plays, like you put Cooks out there, Waddle will be having a cow.
Well, I'm just saying you could interchange any receiver you want. It wasn't going to fit McDermott's plan.
So where
Right?
is this is where I was going to say
Okay.
before I let him say it, because this is off another tangent. I think there was a concerted effort. What are we going to do to get Josh through a 18-game season, 17-game, 18-game season?
Run the ball.
That was one way of doing it, right? And when you had to throw the ball, what happened? Josh got his head knocked off this year, right?
Yeah, he got beat up a little bit this year.
Because there's
You
no
missed
did
some
not
throws.
have your fastball.
Okay. Fastball talk. It came around, Sean.
okay.
Yeah.
So
It's like a
To
slap
me-
shot. Who's your
To
slap
me, if
shot?
you're
We'll
reading
talk hockey terms.
today is all tea leaves because you haven't heard anything other than just
Yep.
what's out there. But if I'm reading my tea leaves and doing my critical thinking, you had at some point and understandably, what are we going to do to make sure Sugar High Josh doesn't get his head run off because we're running him for 60 some yards a game because that's what we have to do because we have no running game whatsoever. Right? Well, we got to go get a running game. Well, they swung the pendulum that we got a running game, and I think they swung the pendulum way too far.
I get that, but it wasn't for a lack. These guys
So
could
lack
have
of complementary football.
Yeah, and that's part of it too. Yet the Bills still had the leading rusher for the whole season, so it's hard to nitpick what they were able to produce
Yeah, but
beyond
what did
last
that get
week's
us,
game.
having the
I
number
get
one
it.
rusher?
I get it.
Nothing.
But you don't game plan for 5 turnovers. You just
I
don't.
know you don't.
So I mean, without a fraction
You
of
don't,
those
but
turnovers,
you put yourself in that position when you have to have a guy make plays and put the cape on and say you're Superman.
I got that.
Hold on.
We
Did
saw
he need
that the last week. We saw that against Jacksonville. He was Superman. He won that game single-handedly.
And
So
lost it this time.
I get it. Right. So we
Yeah, but
saw
it's
he's
hard.
capable.
It's hard. Josh is still a human. So
Absolutely.
to sit there and tell him, like, you don't need to be Superman this second, but I need you to be Superman that second. And I don't know when you are going to be Superman, so make the hero throw a ball that we're going to show.
I know.
Which is all of the same thing of the hill that I died on, because if he would have
I
made
know.
the pass in overtime, you could have structured this game that Josh Allen still came back.
I know.
Got him to tie the game and won the game
I
in
know.
overtime.
I'll give you. Look, we could take that right off the table. I'll give you the throw that he could have had to Knox, where he just.
but
Yeah, but there's a
foot.
guy
You're
in
throwing
front
the
of
ball
him.
to
If you look
Knox.
at the, if you
for,
look
for the win.
It would have been
Right.
close.
If
I
you
mean,
look at the all 22, there's a guy that's in front of him, and if
Yep.
he throws it down, it probably gets blocked at the line.
right.
So there's
How much
as
time
much
was
as
left?
we're sitting there, it was the last play before they kicked the field goal,
I just.
the 50-yard field goal
before the Cooks and before
before the Cooks.
Well, how much time
Cooks
was left?
was
pass interference.
pass interference.
Yep.
Then you didn't get that call. You
Then I
went
went to
down on
Knox.
third down.
you had a
went to
timeout.
Knox.
You had a timeout.
You would have Knox borderline whether or not he would have gotten
Right.
tackled.
But you still
before he
had a
got-
timeout to run a play.
Possibly could have scored.
Right.
Possibly.
I mean,
possibly
so
could have scored. But what my point with that throw is as much as we keep banging on Josh for missing that throw, I don't know if Josh can make that throw with a guy in front of him. Right. He had pressure on
I get
him.
it.
And I think he put it at the only spot that you need Kincaid to go up instead of Knox being that guy to go get it.
I do want to say this one point. I totally agree with you to some extent. I do want to say this one. After the first quarter, and this may have occurred, but this keeps popping in my brain over the last 48 hours. After watching how the Bills played after one quarter, I really hope somebody pulled him aside and said, "We don't need you to be Superman today. Look what we've been able to do. Look what we've been able to accomplish. Let us, as a team, win this.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily need you to do it." And had they done that, I think you would have seen a different Josh Allen, which would have reflected
when
more
did
of
he
a
make his
Brady type.
mistakes? I know the end of, like the very first one that people will probably whatever. The interception deep to Cooks is you throw the ball down there, it's a 50-50 ball. I'm not even putting that on. It's an arm punt.
It's an arm punt.
So I'm not even counting that as a turnover, and I'm fine with him throwing that ball.
We got three more. We got 3 more to go.
All the time?
So I agree with you on that.
Well,
one.
you
I'll
have
give it
that
to you.
one. You have one that isn't really a turnover. That was a catch. So those are his 2 interceptions. Okay. He got hit from behind.
Yeah.
That was his fumble.
I know.
When he got blown up when Dion got run over and run through. And yes, he had one.
The
with
boneheaded
16 seconds left, that if you just kneel on the ball instead of letting him go run, you don't have that. And you open that up for 16 seconds. Let's go do something and whatever. You take your chances. Like,
So if
I don't think he played Superman ball. Like, everybody wants to shit on him, but I'm sorry. Yes, he missed throws. He missed the throw to Shakir. That was a missed throw.
I get it.
I'm not going to sit here and say that he played the best game that he possibly could have, or that he should have done what he did. You hope that he's smart enough to just be like, fuck it, we didn't get it. I'm just going to go down at the 40 and we'll play the next half.
I get it.
But out of all the other turnovers, I explained them all.
I know, but numbers don't lie. And when you're on the hook, regardless, you win, you're the hero, you lose, you get shit on. When there's still a number 4 next to your name, regardless of whether it was your fault or not, you got to eat that. And that's that. And Josh understood that.
And
that's why he was so emotional.
You talked about those 4, and I'm telling you the other turnover that we didn't talk about was way more worse than anything else.
And it was also probably one of the hardest hits I've seen all damn year.
Yeah. Like it hurt the Bills probably the worst, and I can understand why he fumbled the ball. It was a great play by Denver. They get paid too.
Hey, so hold on. You go first, and then I want to say something.
I was going to shift gears.
Oh, okay. My last thing. Josh Allen's hero-type play at the end of the first half is why I guess you take the points when you can get them against Jacksonville and not try running clock out. I was all about run clock out, score with giving them no time left. That is why you take the points, right? Because shit like that happens.
Correct. And then you heard McDermott say, I thought he'd just throw it out of bounds.
That's what they said. If it's not there, throw it out of bounds. What does he do? Scramble, loses the ball. Yeah. Because he's holding the ball like a fucking loaf of bread.
Okay.
Oh, God. Anyways, okay.
Can I shift?
Yeah, shift.
So, Sean.
Yes, sir.
Shift.
Why'd McDermott get fired today?
That's a loaded question. It was. I'll go back even further. The Mrs. Sean and I had quite the discussion the night before on this very topic, and I'm sitting there before you put the nightcap on, getting ready to go to bed.
You wear a bonnet,
and I wear a bonnet just like this, and lo and behold, she goes nuclear on me. She doesn't go. This is like less than 8 hours before. She goes, we got to make changes. And I'm thinking the easy answer is McDermott, which is never going to happen. She stuns me and she goes, we need to trade Josh Allen. And I looked at her and I go, you just went nuclear right there.
I get divorce papers ready.
She goes, look at Stafford. Look what he did. He was struggling with the Lions. He got traded. We got to blow the whole thing up. And I go,
Chris Johnson today said if you don't get him a ring in the next 3 years, he's playing for the Niners.
I'm going to read this. So
hold on.
Mr. Sean.
Before we go too much farther,
hold
can
on,
I ask, does Mrs. Sean know that Stafford plays for a different team and not Detroit?
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Like we are Detroit in this.
Here, I know. So
yes,
here's what Mrs. Sean had to say.
Yes, we are.
My Buffalo Bills thought since she was invited on the podcast, but had to decline.
She declined my invite?
She did. If I had to make a prediction now, because they handled it so poorly today, this is Mrs. Sean, and did not let Bean go as well, my prediction, unfortunately, is whoever is going to come and probably will not have the locker room support. Because McDermott, whether you agree with them or not, did have the love of his players. This will then lead to internal issues. Allen's going to be in a Stafford situation. We'll ask for a trade. We'll probably get a Super Bowl somewhere else, and we will now be in the drought once again.
God,
I
you
don't
guys are all
mean
gonna eat crow when
to
that
be
happens.
a Debbie Downer, but it was the Buffalo way. He'll ask for a trade.
God, every Buffalonian has got PTSD.
So you just took my question
So-
and flipped it to your wife.
I did. I put the blame on her. So I will say this in hindsight. In hindsight, maybe it wasn't as shocking as we all thought it was when it first came down.
I was shocked.
There was clearly
Wait a minute.
a rift between.
Did you watch? Sorry,
Go for it.
Because he said I'm shocked. So when ESPN puts up coaches that are going to get fired, and McDermott was on that list at the end of the season before week 1 of the playoffs, did you just think that was ridiculous and
I didn't
clickbait?
see. I don't think I saw them on there.
He was on the list with
Yeah.
Tomlin and
I mean, it would make
with all
sense.
of
He's
them.
been here
Yeah.
8-9 years, hasn't won the thing yet.
There's a
I get
shelf
it,
life of the
but
coaches.
I didn't really think it would happen.
Right.
Yeah, but why didn't you think it was happen?
Because Pagula is loyal to
There you
his
go.
people.
Not because of what actually happened with the Bills.
Correct.
You're shocked because you saw Pagula actually do something.
Or Bean did. Now that he's got the power,
Because
maybe it's
Pagula's
Bean.
got to write a $16 million check.
Yeah. I mean, there definitely was
Right.
in hindsight, if you look back at the whole season in its totality, I think we saw a break. Those two, Bean and McDermott, I'm sure stuff will come out later, but I would say for the vast majority of the 9 years, they were hip to hip. I think this year, if you look at all the evidence, all the circumstantial evidence, you'll see that there was a fracture there, and that Bean,
No soccer.
Pagula had to make a choice because it was no longer going to work. And I'll give a Keith credit for this one. It's easier to replace, I think, your head coach than it is your organizational leader in Bean. And that's why 9 years is a hell of a run. And one more thing I'll add is McDermott, just because he's leaving, what he established in terms of the culture, that doesn't go out the door with him.
I hope so. With Josh Allen as the leader, I would hope he continues the torch.
Right. So you do. It's not like I lost this player. What he established here hopefully remains for the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. His imprint, his impact is going to live on for many years, even though he's gone.
So this reminds me of 2001 when the Bucks fired Tony Dungy. He went to Tampa Bay, changed the culture,
Yep.
got him to the playoffs several years in a row, but couldn't get that big win.
Right.
That's where my mind goes.
I think it's fair. I think
The question comes down to whether you can find
A
the
Dungy?
right person.
Let me ask you a question.
No, you're not finding a Dungy.
No. Are you stunned? Are you shocked that without someone like a Harbaugh waiting in the wings, who's an easy maybe slip in with the credibility, are you shocked that Pagula pulled that trigger and allowed this to happen?
So I believe it was around week 14 we were talking, and I said that if you were to fire McDermott, you better have a stud lined up. If we rewinded back to week 14, I would have been shocked. But after Saturday, especially after McDermott went on his rant, not as shocked as I would have been.
Do you think his coffin was already nailed shut no matter how far he went unless he won the Super Bowl?
I am curious to hear from
Yes.
Pagula if we're going to get comments like Biscotti made that winning would just would have delayed this a week.
It's to me
He
to me something had to happen at the trade deadline. It was clear, and I think there was rift prior to the trade deadline. It just wasn't vocal, but it was obvious to like everybody after the trade deadline, especially after Darius Slay picking up Cooks, the comments about Jacoby Myers during the game. McDermott was vocal, basically knew they weren't on the same page, the two of them. McDermott for the first time went out and said that out loud.
Do you think he was being
And
subordinate?
I think he was fighting for his job from that point on.
Okay.
I think the two of them, to be honest with you, I think it comes down to as much as everybody wanted Bean out, I think Bean got the players McDermott wanted and knew he would play. There's why did New England make Belichick the GM?
So he could control his roster.
Yeah, but what happened? The GM there's a the GM used to pick players that he thought were great for the team, and Belichick wouldn't play them.
Yeah. There was a rift. You can't have a rift with yourself.
So they eventually said, if you're going to be the one, if you're not going to play the players that our GM picks, you might as well just be the guy that picks them. And that was horrific.
Right.
And why I think that's more than horrific to bring Belichick back in and try him for a year. No.
Okay.
No. His player personnel and all of that other stuff. He walked into Brady. He walked into those builds. And yes, he's very smart and does all those things. But I think you're talking about flipping guys that you might have just extended last year on the Buffalo Bills roster.
But they knew that. They knew that could be a byproduct of this move they
I
made.
think TB's gone.
Who?
TB's going to be gone.
Terrell Bernard.
Yeah. $12 million to keep him, $6 million gone.
What about like a Rousseau who's got an 8 for 80? Ed Oliver. What about?
Yeah, I wouldn't get rid of Rousseau. I'd actually let him pass rush.
Correct. I mean, when you go back...
Let him actually go pass rush instead of being the blocking guy on the outside.
Correct.
You had 0 sacks again in a game. They had no sacks.
46 pass attempts.
And if you watched every other game this weekend, the defensive lines generated pressure.
Yeah, but
you can't tell
were
me
allowed to generate
They
pressure.
were. Correct.
They're scheming that kept them in a cage, and they weren't letting them actually do that. They were dropping back. Hell, the Walker pick.
He was in coverage.
He was in coverage. You know who the guy behind him was? That was playing the wide receiver? Was Rousseau. Look at the play again. He picks the ball off, and if you look behind him where the ball would have gone, Rousseau's sitting there too.
Right. That's more of a scheme than anything else.
I get that, but I get doing that once in a while, but you can't blame Rousseau for not going and getting sacks when he's 5 yards playing linebacker.
Right.
And at the end of the day, go back to the question I asked you, Sean. Why did McDermott get fired? He got fired because the defense underachieved. And at the end of the day, he came in and changed the culture, but he wasn't the right person to take us to the next level.
And those are fair takes. Like that, there's nothing.
I wouldn't disagree.
I can't push back on that one. You get 9 years.
Wait.
There's a
Can we break
shelf
this date
life.
down?
Yeah. So 424 on 119.26. Sean Viola cannot push back.
There's definitely the second you're hired, the clock starts on when you're going to get fired. Sean McDermott had a great run.
Were you a truther?
I was, because I couldn't realistically sit there and think of who you could forever. I've been quoted on this podcast a number of
Who
times.
would replace him?
Exactly. So I always struggle with that one.
And
I could still be a truther right now.
Right.
Because I think if you left them in there one of these years, they're going to get to the Super Bowl.
Right.
You can't keep having the luck that they're having, losing games the way that they are. It's eventually got to stop.
I think
law of averages. I think he would have gotten one if you would have kept him here.
And I think he
would have
will.
gotten one.
I think he will. But you saw Tomlinson and you saw Harbaugh with Super Bowl rings get shown the door. I think Pagul said, I mean, my guy doesn't have any of that clout. And these guys are comfortable letting that type caliber coach go.
Do we really all believe that this is all Pagula's doing and not Beans?
No, I think it's Beans, but I think it's the struggle between where do you want to see. Like, if you're doing an end of the year season, what's McDermott coming in and saying, what are we doing different next year?
We're getting bigger blocking wide receivers.
Right.
So do you think that Bean has more power than he should up until now, and now he's got his new title of president?
No,
and now
I don't
the head
think
coach has to report to him?
Neither of them before were 50-50, and they both reported to Pagula.
See, I was unaware that it was 50-50. I always assumed general manager was the head
Yeah, but
of
the
coaches.
general manager came in after the head coach was here. So,
and I think that's why Bean's still here. He's never hired a head coach.
Right.
So the clock is now going to be on Bean.
And if you're sitting there telling me, like, Bean, like, well, how did he do getting assets? Well, he got the assets that the coach wanted, for the most part. No one in the offseason said they wanted Jaden Waddle at the trade deadline. I think everything that happened at the trade deadline, to be honest with you, and why he threw up what it was, is he knew damn well, he's like, holy shit, we got to get a lot better a lot quicker because my build in the beginning of the year wasn't right.
So, again, this will be telling for Brandon Beane if he knows what he's doing or not. If, in fact, McDermott was telling him who to draft.
That's
or pick
my
up
take.
an FA.
I could be wrong.
What do you got, Sparky?
I saw on TikTok this morning. I saw like in a stat. I don't know who said it, but it was like the playoff. I think it was our last 6 playoff losses, and they were like the main defensive stats, like sacks, and I think it was QB pressures. I'm not quite sure, but the highest amount of sacks we had in one of our last 6 playoff losses was 2. And we let up an average of 33 points in all of those games. And McDermott's supposed to be a defensive-minded coach.
Do you know who the player was that got the sack? The last Bills loss?
Nah, I don't remember.
Jerry Hughes. Let that sink in, boys. Jerry Hughes is the last one to record a sack for the Buffalo Bills.
3 years?
In a loss.
It's been gone 3 years?
4.
Has it been that long? Ooh.
Yeah, it's a long time. That's like one of the things I saw.
So, we've just admitted to ourselves that that McDermott is not the defensive guru that we all held him at.
I think they were a franchise without an identity.
I think that when McDermott took over play calling duties
From Babbage?
from Babbage,
So you're
and
telling
then
me
the
Babbage
defense
is better than
continued
him?
to struggle. No.
Okay.
But I'm saying that when he took over play calling duties because the defense was struggling.
Which was all left into, we think, or believe that Babbage was the caller, right?
I mean, how many different coordinators has he had? He's on what?
Leggy Frazier was...
4, Dennison, Dable, Dorsey, and now Brady.
Oh,
4
you're talking
coordinators on offense.
Aussie. Okay.
If you look at defensive coordinators, you had Frazier, then you had Washington on
Who?
the Babbage.
Who's Washington?
Wasn't he the defensive line coach, then was defensive coordinator for a year?
No, are you talking about
I think
Weaver?
that was when Frazier stepped away from...
Yeah, it was Washington, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
they just had a filler guy in there.
They had a filler guy in there. So,
Teddy Washington?
Big guy.
I don't remember his name. Wasn't it Washington or no?
Something like that. But to me, I think this isn't... It's a Josh Allen. This was a Josh Allen firing.
He had him fired.
No, I don't think Josh Allen had a say in it.
Yeah,
Oh.
see, I agree with that
But
too.
I
I'm making a
don't
lot of
think-
pushback on that one.
I don't think Josh Allen, like, why would you, what, Pagula's going to come down, hey, should I fire Sean?
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't do that.
I think a lot of people believe that, though, and I don't believe that at all.
I think that's stupid logic. You're not
Right.
going to do that. I have a huge issue. The
Hold
Buffalo
on.
Bills.
Brendan's calling me out that it's Ted Washington. Is it really Ted Washington? Yeah, that's what I thought. Not former player Ted Washington. He's
I
trying
don't
to tell
know.
me it is.
No, it was...
yeah,
No,
while
hold
you
on.
guys
I need someone to fucking do this
get,
chat over
get
here.
Solace on that one. I think
Sala?
yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
God, no.
I do not want.
No.
They need to, like.
They need fresh.
They need an offensive-minded head coach.
I was just saying Solace, not Salah. You translated it that way. I was going to let it go. I don't, going back to the Josh Allen point, I think Josh Allen in the state he's in right now, I had brought up, I don't think it was a hot take, but I kind of said, I think the team's going to come out and basically say Josh didn't have any input, and people thought I was foolish. They thought I had 12 heads. I don't think, because I don't think you don't look like a big boy if you have to go to your quarterback and be like, hey, are you okay if we let him go? And then put the pressure that he's already feeling after that loss.
I'm sure he has input.
But do you also...
I don't. Not for this one.
You guys have all said that he's in the draft room telling him who to draft.
I think he may have input
as
on
far
who they
as like,
hired.
hey, I like this guy, doesn't mean that they go get him.
And I think I would think it would be terribly unfair
So-
for them to sit there and say, you make the call.
And you could bring him in, and Bean has talked about this multiple times with him having say. He goes, no, he's flat out said Josh does not get to make the pick.
Yeah.
But he goes, if we're between a couple guys, I might show Josh, like, hey, what do you see?
Okay.
They took Cole Bishop and they went to Dalton Kincaid and asked him how he was at Utah. You'd be an idiot not to do that.
Oh, sure.
I agree. It's smart.
Like, but does that mean Dalton Kincaid picked Cole Bishop?
right.
Like, I get, like, they do that in the media and say all that crap, but you, would be an idiot not to ask players on your team about other players that they played with.
They do that in all sports.
But that also doesn't mean that player is the one making the
Correct.
final decision.
Correct.
But they like to say that, oh, the it was Josh influenced this one. No, he didn't. They asked him for an opinion.
Let's go to the next coach. If they were to get another defensive coach, one, is that possible? And two, what the fuck would you say if they got another defensive-minded coach? Because if it's McDermott told him who he wants, what style of player he wants to run the ball first, this, and that, like...
Are you getting a defensive coach, like, let's go out to Seattle?
I guess I'm trying to read between the lines on what you were saying.
Are you going out to Seattle? Let's take Seattle, right? Mike McDonald is their head coach, right? Clint Kubiak is the offensive coordinator, which I think is a pretty hot name for Buffalo. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have been saying that's who they want. That's their OC. I don't think McDonald's sitting there telling his offensive coordinator how he has to play plays. McDermott clearly was, and I think that was the juxtaposition. Like, I'm the head coach, I get to say. And I get you have a head coach, you should be able to pick somewhat of a philosophy that you're doing. If you pick a defensive coordinator, that's great. You better have somebody on the offensive side of the ball that's going to do that. Like Harbaugh, he's a special teams guy. Like, so when the Giants hire him,
I'm okay with that.
He's a special teams guy. So,
yep.
But he's a head coach, CEO, and he brings in guys that he wants to do. I think the reason why I say it's a Josh pick, I truly asked that question. What if you brought McDermott in for a end of the season, what are we going to do differently on offense conversation? What do you think he's going to say?
I'm going to run.
Yeah, I think he is going to be consistent with what worked well, which was the run game. And I also like the idea of freeing up Josh Allen so he's not on 40% by the time he reaches the playoffs. Where I thought they were finally shifting to, which is kind of why it's a little perplexing. I think you see the Buffalo Bills go all in on defense again for this draft.
Shut the fuck up. No way.
I do.
Get the hell out of here.
If they do, I quit.
I'm just telling you. I'm telling you. They've seen enough evidence. I've seen enough evidence, whether it's with Denver, whether it's with the Texans or whatever. They've seen enough evidence where we've got a unicorn at quarterback.
Hey, hate to say it. Houston had an amazing defense. They have a shit quarterback.
I get
in
it.
The line.
I get it.
Are you kidding me? He's top 5 in the NFL.
I know.
No, I think he was number 3. He rated himself, right?
Above
I
Josh
get it.
Allen. He's better than Josh Allen.
I get it, but he's not his season.
I would
love that defense.
I show you multiple times.
He's not his season. I
was
think
impressed with freaking New England's front
I know.
four.
But even Houston took a wide receiver in the 2nd and 3rd round last year.
I get it.
They took Higgins and Knoll.
But they already had those guys. I mean, that's part of it too. So that's where I get a little confused. But I after the shock wears off a little bit, I am okay. You gave this guy lots of runway. He did his job, which is to get you in the playoffs and give you a chance. I will say,
Marvin Lewis.
I get it. But I don't think anything that occurred this past game with Denver warranted McDermott getting fired.
Subordination.
I mean, if you want to look at the whole season,
I think it's the whole season. It should not be that game. It's the entire season.
Yeah,
which
I think
year 9.
that's.
I mean, come on. Like, the part that shocks me is, and it really does, it's absolutely mind-blowing, and my head spins. We went from before Bean went on GR and said his wide receiver room, whatever he said, who was saying that we were firing Bean, and how many people wanted to fire McDermott?
Kyle's raising his
hand. Do you think Bean said that to just support his head coach?
What is Bean? How is he supposed to answer that? If you're going to go on and say, yeah, we need better wide receivers, like, how was he supposed to answer that question?
Because he's throwing himself under the bus then?
Yes.
Huh?
Because then he'd be throwing himself under the bus, right? If he said we need better wide receivers?
It's your organization. You went out and said that. Like, you're never going to shit on your former players. You're going to sit there and take their back. It's team. Why wouldn't you go out and say that about your team? You're not going to sit there
So you're saying he
shit on the team
only
that you
could
have.
say that. He only could say that.
That basically was what he could do.
Okay.
The simple fact that they had the shit fit that they had is mind-boggling to me. And then 100%, they all did a 180 and said, we got to get rid of the other one, when they were all on fire McDermott. They were firing McDermott before he wasn't even supposed to get the season.
Yeah.
They wanted to fire him after KC. He can't do it. Now after this season, it was his best coaching season yet. I think we should keep him. But it was Bean's fault.
So where do we go from here? I mean, I think we're all in a
West Coast offense.
Your number one question for every single head coaching candidate is, how do you take Josh Allen to the next level?
yes.
What's your plan?
Great question. You should be on the interview panel.
No, but I mean,
Seriously.
that should be question number one.
Yeah.
And is that Davis Webb?
Because at the end of the day,
Who the fuck is that guy?
Seattle.
Huh?
Davis Webb. Who is he?
He's Mr.
You
Buffalo.
didn't know that? He was
I know
our
he was
quarterback.
here. Oh,
Yeah.
and so there's
You-
just some
you
random
may have been a
quarterback
high school graduate before
that's
he was born.
No, he was coaching here, and if you watch...
no, he was.
I know
He played here, right? On the
he
practice
played
squad?
here, but when he was playing here, he was coaching here. They said that. All those guys said he was
He's like, what,
basically
30?
he was young. He comes from a coaching background, so his family has coaching pedigree. So he's one of the up and coming ones. I have some issues. He's never actually called offensive plays. Taking a guy that's never actually called offensive plays. And
I don't
say,
know
like,
if this fan base is ready for that.
hey, let's do this. I don't see that. I think our fan base also is. I think Brady gets an interview.
He can't.
He will.
He's an owner. Wait, Brady. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking Tom Brady.
No, the other Brady we love.
Yeah, but I think he gets an interview, and I brought that up at the podcast.
How do you love him? This
I
is
don't.
where it gets.
Yeah,
no,
I don't.
I was kidding. I don't love him.
no,
Yeah.
but he's doing what he's told to do. If you're
taking him off.
handcuffing,
Yeah.
if you're handcuffing people, this is where grass isn't. I'm not sitting here saying this is the right 100% decision because the grass isn't always greener on the other side. But if the grass is going to be greener on the other side, it's going to be greener because basically we picked a head coach picked a philosophy of how he wanted to run the team, and it wasn't the best philosophy
I get
for
that.
Josh Allen
I get that.
and our team
let
going forward.
Let me ask the panel here. How do you think the fan base, the average Joe Schmo, the Joe Six-Pack, whoever is going to pay to go in the brand new stadium, how do you think the fan base would take
If
a Brady hire?
So
People are going to be selling their seats.
So I think they wouldn't like it. But at the end of the day, when he got fired in Carolina, he got fired because he wouldn't run the damn ball.
Because he what?
He wouldn't run. He got fired because he was pass happy in Carolina.
Where are you at with that, Joe?
When you go back to LSU, he was pass happy when he was passing game coordinator. So
Bubble screens?
We don't have those, so
he's a
Yeah.
product of McDermott.
He's a
not well is your take.
Wait a minute. Is he McDermott Tree?
no.
Oh.
Peyton
He came-
Tree. Isn't he?
I think so.
He's from the Peyton Tree.
Came
Because he
from
was at New
LSU.
Orleans, then he went to LSU, then he went
Yeah.
back to New Orleans. So he's from the Sean Peyton Tree.
I would be. I've not beaten up on Brady like everybody else has.
Nope.
I'm fine with what he's doing and what he was told to do. And yes, everybody hates the screens, the bubble screens, and all of that stuff, but they ranked second in the NFL running them in EPA.
The bubble screen?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Who was better?
The Rams.
Jesus Christ. They can't be that much better for second.
They've got to be number one at the hook and ladder.
They're still playing, and everybody would say I'd take Sean McVay right now as their head coach.
Okay, so...
Number one. I don't know a single person in Buffalo that'd say, no, I don't want Sean McVay. I don't want the bubble screens. He's not a good offensive... the average person in Buffalo, you want me to be honest with you? I don't think they know what they want. They're told what they want. Don't pay enough attention to what actually is there, and they get told a narrative. I don't really want the average Buffalo Bills fan to sit there and say, this is what we should do. I want somebody to come in, and I want the Bills to win. Not what's popular on talk radio. I want the Buffalo Bills to win a Super Bowl with Josh Allen.
Okay, who are we talking about?
Right now, I just see with the tea leaves that it is, I think it's a offensive minded head coach for this one.
And
I don't see how
NFL
you bring in
or college.
I feel it's an NFL guy.
So is it a guy who's going to have been passed around a few different times, and this will be one of many landing spots?
I don't.
So probably a offensive coordinator that's kind of new to that team?
Probably.
And where do you think Joe Brady? All these questions are for the panel, so answer you want. Do the Bills move on for Brady, or is Brady moving on from the Bills? And then you got to go find an OC.
I think Brady gets a head coaching job.
Me too. I think it's more likely he does move on from the Buffalo Bills. I do wonder if the firing of McDermott is a byproduct that Brady could be gone, and your only card is, hey, we'll keep him, make him our head coach. To have other significant teams at least interview him, it gives you an idea of how he's viewed around the league.
Now, let me ask you this. NFL rule states that a coordinator or any coach cannot seek interviews while that team is currently playing. A team has to ask permission to speak to that said person.
And
Correct.
You can't do it in the AFC wildcard round. So the first week they couldn't do it.
So Brady's not going out there talking to teams like, hey,
No, it would be
they have to
awful,
come to
awful
us.
look.
They have to come to him,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
He's under
okay.
contract.
Okay.
And McDermott was on
Just wanna make
record
sure.
prior to that saying that he was glad that he was getting interviews.
Yes.
I only asked because I had a friend call me asking me about this situation. I said, no, I'm pretty sure that's an NFL rule that you cannot.
They put it in that they can't interview wildcard weekend.
Okay.
It was actually one of the rules the Bills, I think, put in to stop because they didn't want all their coaches were getting interviews.
Distracted
Week
and all
one
that
distracted
bullshit.
the first week of the.
Yeah, I remember that.
So
Did that happen with Dable, right?
Dable was
Right? They
one
changed
of
the rule
them,
for him? Mm-hmm. Or after him?
Yeah, the Bills get all the rules changed.
Chances of him coming back.
It's one of the possibilities.
Did he have a better relationship with Bean than he did with McDermott? We know Josh Allen and Dable are friendly, right?
Tight. They're tight.
Tight, or are we
Yeah.
just talking friendly?
I mean, if you believe the rumors, he was already having conversations after he got let go from the Giants with Josh Allen. So I think we go
Could that
back.
be, hey, hang in there, buddy?
I
It's going to
think
be okay
maybe,
kind of conversation?
I don't know, but I think we go back to that's a conversation you have with Josh
Or
Allen.
Josh is like, I can get this guy fired and bring you back.
I don't know about that, but
I have that kind of pull.
maybe. But I do think Josh Allen's consulted. No matter. Do you agree?
I get a difference of if you're bringing in and you have a couple different guys to do. I don't necessarily think Josh Allen should pick his quarterback.
Correct.
Coach.
But I think he's going to have certain input.
Tim, do you think Dable has a chance of coming back here?
Not as head coach.
Would he come back here as an OC? Ooh. Right? Because guys have egos, right? And God forbid a really good defensive coordinator or an offensive coordinator stays as a defense coordinator or offense coordinator.
But
We've had several of them.
But I could see him coming back here as an OC if he thinks he can take Josh Allen to the next level and
Without
pick his next
the
choice.
restraint.
And that's okay as an OC and not a head coach? Could he for his
Depends
ego?
Depends
So,
on who your coach is. If you already have an
Like him and-
offensive head coach, I don't think you go out and
No,
get
but I could
Dable.
see like him and Flores being a package going somewhere.
Dable and Flores
Yes.
as your OC DC?
No, head coach, OC.
Flores is your head coach? Was he the
But I don't
Dolphins?
want him for Buffalo. But I'm just saying, there's been
okay.
rumors that those two would be a package together.
Yeah,
Flores was the defense coordinator for Miami?
No, he was head coach
head
for Miami.
coach. And Fitz had some words. Hopefully he's gotten
Correct.
better from what
So-
Fitz said his time in Miami with him was.
So no, I don't
Everybody
want him in
grows,
Buffalo.
so he
Chances
could potentially
McDaniels
change
come
it.
here as OC.
Which
Zero.
McDaniels? No.
I know, but I will say this. I mean, the Buffalo hire is very appealing. I don't know many people who
I would
won't.
think Buffalo doesn't have to throw a net.
No.
Like, people
No.
are going to be coming.
So-
Yes.
So if I was Buffalo,
I would wait.
and I know this will never happen,
Wait.
I'd be calling San Francisco and being like, "What do you want for Shanahan going to the last year of his contract?"
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
think
shit. Would you do that?
they're not giving up Shanahan.
Would you do it?
They're not giving him up.
Would you do if he was available? Would you do it?
It's like, would I take $1 billion?
You would take him.
Why not?
I'd be willing to give up my
I'm
first
just
round
asking
pick for
questions.
Shanahan.
I'm trying to learn
You
about you
would,
guys.
but-
Would you, Sean?
Yes, I would.
Calvin, would you take Kyle Shanahan here?
I mean, Shanahan had a meltdown after San Francisco lost the other day. So
I just don't see. The hard part with Shanahan too is he has his offense set for a certain way, and you're going to have Josh play structure. Does that work? Is he adaptable to Josh?
I think that Josh Allen would fit. I'm trying to take Josh Allen out of a Bills uniform and putting him into a Niners uniform right now just to take Purdy's spot, and I think he would fit great there.
So you
They
can't
have wide receivers. They have a good tight end. They have a good running back. Josh Allen just sits there and just scrambles when he's under pressure, not designed runs anymore. Like, I think that could be dangerous.
I mean, Sal has been with the 49ers forever. They like their offensive coordinator. If they could get draft capital for Shanahan and roll with Saleh and
Here is my pick. I'm not picking. This is what I see happening.
Okay.
They're going to bring somebody in, and we're all going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Probably.
Doesn't matter who it could be the one, because no one is set on a single player. You can bring out Kubiak in Seattle, which is a hot name, and people are going to go, what the fuck are you doing this for? You can do it with anybody that's out there.
And we did it 9 years ago when no one had really known unless you were someone who
at that
followed.
Point, we didn't care because you brought in the Syracuse head coach, brought in the 35. We were just picking anybody.
It did work. Like, it did work out for the Buffalo Bills, regardless of how you feel. Culture change, playoffs, drought broken. They went with it with a relatively unknown guy, and they made it work for 9 years. That's a success. That's so.
Hold on,
they
time
might
out.
be
What's been a success for 9 years? Getting to the playoffs and losing every year?
because
Yes.
you got
Okay.
you didn't spend 17 years.
I'm
not.
sorry, they are. You made it to the AFC Championship
2 times
last year. Last year they were in the AFC Championship game.
Is it a success because they're making Terry Pagula a bunch of money?
No, he would be doing it regardless.
You're one of 4 teams that have made the playoffs 6 years straight in NFL.
and the only one of those never to make the
history.
Super Bowl.
Yes,
Correct, which
It's a
is
new
the
record.
damning one. But you're one of the teams that have made the playoffs 6 years in a row.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And sitting here right now, provided they don't blow up the entire roster like crazy and do something beyond stupid, are they making the playoffs next year?
probably not.
Probably. I mean, they're probably going
Bullshit.
to be doing
In
it.
the text group, you said they weren't going to make the playoffs.
No,
is
you
that
got the
true?
wrong person.
Who said that?
That wasn't me.
Bullshit.
Kyle, look it up. I never gave my opinion on that one, but I think, again, the entire organization is on the premise that we've got to move on. Sean McDermott has taken us as far as we can go. We're going to hire someone with the sole purpose of what Tim brought up, bringing us to the next level.
And I think at the end of the day, if we fast forward 5 years from now, we're going to remember today's either the day the Bills went to the next level or
Josh Allen got
the
traded.
day the Super Bowl aspirations died.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So, Joe, you think
But,
if you
wait.
make the playoffs, it's a success?
No.
From where we were in the drought years, yes, I think the Bills have been highly successful.
I will
And
say,
I believe this. You don't think there's success, but you think this is the number one job you could come to.
You got
Those
the best,
don't go together.
You got the best player in the NFL, a new stadium.
right.
This is a
I'm
destination
just
for a
asking
coach
definition of success and failure.
because you're going into a successful organization. You have Josh signed for what, 5 more years?
6,
You're-
right? No?
5 or 6 or whatever it is. It's
6
more,
or 7.
6, 7.
It's more than Lamar on a $75 million contract next year.
Does Josh Allen have to restructure next year?
No, they did it already.
This cap hit's not crazy next year. It gets
Right.
crazy in 2 years. That's why I think some of these other guys will be gone.
And I just want to go back for 1 second. I do think we can't lose sight for the definition of insanity, which is to do the same thing, to roll out the same thing, expecting different results. And that's where, again, I think you got to give Pagula at least some credit for making that very difficult, tough choice to cut loose of this one. But to sit there and roll this back for year number 10, when, as damning as it is, they haven't even gotten to the Super Bowl, I think you'd be asking for trouble.
And I think at this point, I'm kind of expecting the unexpected. It would not surprise me if the Bills
Somebody
just
from
roll
left field.
If the Bills roll someone out there from left field that everyone's like, holy
From the
crap,
XFL?
or
Belichick.
or even like, holy crap, no one thought that person was available.
I thought
I mean,
Belichick.
I'm sure that the Bills are getting phone calls from people today, representatives from people today, like, okay,
John
what does this look
Gruden,
like?
you think
Because
John Gruden's calling?
He was pissed off.
But-
He ripped the Bills.
Oh, he did?
But how often does
But that doesn't
One of
mean
your-
he probably wouldn't take the job.
how often
Carroll.
does one of the top
Time
quarterbacks?
Time out.
No,
Does anyone entertain that idea? Because
No.
Kellen said it to me, and I almost slapped him
he's
through the phone.
75 years old. No,
He's the oldest coach, right?
but at the end of the day, how often does one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL
Get a new coach.
does that job become available?
That's why it's very enticing.
That's
The Ravens are interviewing everybody. That's the
But-
they breathe.
but that's like if we rewind back in time. That's like when San Francisco fired Seifert and they had Steve Young there. I mean, like these jobs don't just become available with the top QB.
So they're going to have their pick
they're
of what's left.
they're the most appealing job in the NFL.
100%.
In my opinion.
And
They should put it to public vote.
so out of the 2 coaches that are already hired,
They narrowed down to 3 guys. They let
I would have
public
liked
vote.
Stefanski.
you would have liked Stefanski.
I would have.
Yeah,
Yeah, he went to Atlanta.
Atlanta hired him.
Like
I'm-
who's the one that sent the meme of Harbaugh and the meme of
Oh, the Breaking Bad, like with the
No, with the,
finding out, yeah, the Giants and I know which one.
correct. They were saying like the Giants and Ravens would be pissed off.
Yeah, that was
I think-
freaking Breaking Bad one.
I
Where
think,
about they
but I think
signed too
Harbaugh and
early.
Stefanski are probably just as pissed because Stefanski.
To
Do
me,
you think-
hiring
do you think
Harbaugh
the
is
league
the
was
same as
shocked?
I wouldn't have
having-
hired Harbaugh. No,
is the same as Harbaugh, Tomlin, and McDermott are the same
Yes.
coach.
agreed.
So if you're going to hire those 2, you might as well kept the one that you had
But
that was
Stefanski?
actually better at 4th down and not punting all of the time than the other 2. So that would have been going backwards. Stefanski, I can somewhat say, but you can say that he's never had a quarterback. Well, he kind of had Baker for half a year.
With a torn labrum.
Yeah. You can get there, kind of, but I'd like more proof than that, I guess. Like, that's kind of jumping. You got to take some assumptions there. And I don't know if I'm willing to take some. I kind of want something that, yes, it could be out of left field, but then when you look at it, you're like, okay, he had success here, he had success there.
But when I say out of left field, I mean some of these college coaches could be on the table, like guys that people aren't anticipating moving.
Do you think that the rest of the league was shocked when they saw McDermott let go today?
I think McDermott will have a job by Friday.
Oh, I bet.
With so many teams looking for head coaches, I think
Oh,
it's fair.
especially
No,
he
he'll be-
has a decent
He'll-
defense.
He'll be in Pittsburgh or Baltimore.
I think yes, but I think like us as fans, that once you've had time to kind of digest it, I think the rest of the NFL will be like, yeah, I can understand why it occurred. I think in the moment you're like, oh my god, it has been.
I'm dead serious. Before the playoffs, they were telling you why he should have gotten fired.
I know.
On every national program.
I know.
Across every network.
But
all you got to do is go back 2 weeks.
Right, but shock
And
that
find the clips.
that the actual Bills did it. I think that's part of it too.
I don't think they're as shocked as Buffalo shocked. And the reason why I asked Kyle what I asked, why are you shocked, is because I'm somewhat shocked because I said I thought the Bills could lose by 40 and they weren't going to fire McDermott.
Right.
But I said that solely because Pagula's held on
Right,
to so
right.
many people for so long that's why it was going to be. That was solely what it was. It wasn't because of all the other stuff that you go back and actually think of. And ultimately, I don't know if Pagula's forced to do something this year.
Why?
Because it wasn't working.
No, because you had a GM and a head coach that didn't see eye to eye, and neither one was in charge of the other one.
Correct. You had a divorce in your family.
So you can't. That's untenable moving forward.
He had to get the hierarchy straightened out.
That's why the head of football operations is there. People aren't seeing that from a business standpoint. You can't have that. You can't have A and B that don't work together, and A isn't in charge of B and B isn't in charge of A. You can't, like, that works when they're on the same page. You can have a great one guy that takes care of the offense. I'm the offensive coordinator. You take care of the defense, as long as you both agree on what they're doing. But when the defensive coordinator looks at the offensive coordinator and says, "You suck," right? Which is basically Houston,
Yeah.
right? I mean, they got rid of their OC 2 years ago.
You think someone will get fired in there today or tomorrow?
And you don't think that the current OC looks all that great with the way their offense is?
Do you think Sean McDermott is difficult to work with?
Yes.
I think so too.
I think
it's been chronicled in the beginning of I'll take this back. In the beginning of his time in Buffalo, yes, it was chronicled. It was and even with the media said he was difficult to work with when he was here. I think he's changed, and a lot of people have seen
After
that
he
change.
made that Osama bin Laden comment?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was referenced. The Osama bin Laden
the
was
other day.
No, it was referenced today in the.
Oh.
If you go back and watch the Perino, Mitch Morris talks about that.
It's hard to be a company guy, but also be working on the ground level. Like he was so pro players. It's hard to have one foot in the locker room and be as kind and caring and respected there while also being those traits in the boardroom. So the bottom line is that difficult, yes, from I think ownership to the general manager because he's sacrificing them for the respect he's instilling in having his players back. So I think that's why he's difficult because he chose the players over management, even though he's one of them. And I think you see that across the board in almost any organization is that when you kind of go for the average blue-collar man, you lose a little respect from the white-collar crew you're supposed to be supporting.
Holding on to, and there's some truth to that because we say, I don't want Josh picking the next head coach because I want the next head coach to be able to hold Josh accountable for things that he's doing.
It's never going to happen. We don't joke when we call him King Allen. When Buffalo puts up a sign that says the Queen City just got a new queen, they're not joking. I mean, you're not going to see, and thank God Josh isn't a prima donna or any player like that who does need to be reined in, that he is who he is. But if you think someone new is coming in and is going to hold Josh accountable, you're delusional.
So if you took Dable and Dable sat him down and read the riot act to him after the New England game when he threw all of that stuff, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about let's switch sports with the same owner.
Sure.
The media thought that Lindy Ruff was going to get fired.
Hockey talk.
Sorry, Corey.
Just kidding.
Right? Lindy Ruff was going to get fired because Yarmo came in and said that we're going to talk about accountability. And the media thought that meant Lindy Ruff was going to get fired because he can't keep the players accountable.
Right.
What actually happened? Yarmo walked into the locker room and told everybody, you're all expendable.
I know. But you can't do that with Josh Allen.
You did it with Tage Thompson. You did it with all the guys that you
Thompson
can't.
Is
you
not
did it with
on Josh Allen's level.
I'm sitting there telling you, if you're saying it to the entire locker room,
I got it,
and not an individual person, you can do that.
Do you want me to tell you why that'll never happen? Because the second that leaves your lips in the Bills locker room, you've lost credibility from the 52-man roster.
But you don't have to.
Because no one will believe it.
You can't sit there and tell me that Josh Allen can do whatever the hell he wants, because then why have a coach and
but
just let
Josh
him run out
Allen,
and do
but
whatever he
I get it.
wants?
But Josh Allen's coachable. He's not this rogue. He's not this guy out there similar to the guy from
They're all
the Replacements, where he's got an attitude and he's popping
Shane
in.
Falco?
She's not Shane. No, Shane Falco's a good guy.
the other guy.
The other guy.
That's
So-
in a movie.
I know.
Even
but-
down to Jordan.
But-
Or take the best athlete in any sport, and you take Jordan out there. Jordan wanted a coach to tell everybody what to do. Like, you
Yeah.
need Law and Order. The
I
guys
get it.
want coaches
But-
that hold people
But
accountable.
nobody was going to put Jordan in his place. And
because Jordan was holding everybody else accountable.
I still
More
see-
than probably Phil Jackson was.
I still see Allen in that Jordan light more than somebody coming in, sitting Allen down and dressing him down. I just don't think it's. I don't think the fan base wants it. I don't think Bakula wants it. The last thing and I can say this objectively, the last thing this city not the team, not the location, needs is for another star athlete to want out of Buffalo. That would just be absolutely devastating. And the one way to do that is to put your star quarterback who's given blood, sweat, tears, literally blood, sweat, tears, broken bones for this franchise. That'll never happen as long as it just won't happen. I'm telling you.
So you want the accountability that I want? Here's the difference between we talked about between Brady and Allen.
Okay.
Right? Was Brady afraid to hold any of his players accountable?
Wait, hold on. What are we talking about?
Tom Brady.
Okay, because we got a lot of Bradys that we've been discussing.
Brady Allen, quarterback.
Right.
Tom Brady, call anybody out? Feel comfortable doing that?
Okay. Where I got that, but where you take Tom Brady could. Tom Brady could have those difficult conversations.
You're going to have that conversation after the locker room with Josh? You think that's the same trait that Josh currently has?
Probably not. But
that's accountability.
But nobody, even when
that's accountability.
I get it. But even when the guy who you've lockstep with, all right, Belichick, when there was a fracture there, Brady said deuces. Brady walked out of that franchise, which is exactly what would occur without the rings.
I'm not sitting there saying that you got to tell Josh Allen to be whatever, because you guys were the ones telling him that he's got to be sugar high, just stop doing the turnovers and all that other stuff.
Right.
That wasn't me that said
I got that
earlier in this podcast.
But you think
I'm the one that's telling you
somebody's going to ride in.
Somebody's got to come in and have the players hold themselves accountable. More so than what they're currently doing.
You had the guy who could do that, and you let him go. If you really, truly felt like you needed that in your organization, you let the guy go.
You didn't have the guy doing that because you're telling me Josh isn't willing to do that.
I'm telling you.
And he's been here for 9 years.
I get that. Josh could easily sit there and say, it's not my job. It's not my place to do that one. I get that. I tell you, but it's two different things. You came into that discussion with Josh Allen being someone having to come in here and holding him accountable. I don't think that's the case at all.
I'm talking about the team as a whole.
I get that. But if you wanted someone who had universal respect from the team where he could have those difficult conversations, if that's what you needed, you just let him go. Go ahead, Tim. Sorry.
I don't even know what the hell you guys are talking about.
So I guess I'm just curious. Who would you hire?
That's my problem. It's one of those things where it's like you got to go for either someone with a ring or you got to go for someone who's going to be an offensively gifted future stud. I don't know if you can go that route.
Who's available that has a ring that you would want?
Brady. Carroll he's got a ring.
I don't want him. He's too old.
Belichick's got a ring.
Dude, if you say
right?
Carroll or Belichick again, you're done.
I'm just saying.
You're muted. You're off.
I'm just saying. But those are guys who have.
That's how you meet them, folks.
I think Gruden has a ring. I mean, there are guys out there. Don't get me wrong. Tomlinson has but he's taking a year off. Tomlin has a ring. I mean, there are guys, but that's what you need.
Is he pulling the Frazier thing where he's like, I'm taking a year off, and then all of a sudden he's working for somebody else next season?
Yeah,
no.
But
I do not want Tomlin.
Who do you want?
I don't know who I want. I want somebody.
I don't want to be responsible for picking who they get.
Right.
Yeah. I want somebody that will bring out the best Josh Allen. And for me, the best Josh Allen is holding people accountable and doing different things.
I get that. There's one thing.
What do you mean by holding people accountable? For what? Like running a wrong route, bench them for a play or two?
For not coming out every single game and saying it's on me.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Him not taking the blame for things that aren't his problem.
I get it.
Fault.
I understand that he's taking the brunt for everybody else and the players enjoy doing that. But at some point, it's not just Josh's fault. Like, we have to do things. Like, defense has got to step up.
Yep.
And I don't need him to say it in the media, and maybe he is doing it. My accountability point was that the Sabres, Yarmo walked into the locker room and told the players they were all They were all
right.
all
let
could
him
go.
finish. Hold on.
No, could all go. And what happened? They all started playing hockey.
I get that.
The way the coach wanted to play, wanted them to play hockey.
I get that. Two huge differences. Like that torpedoes that argument. You haven't made the playoffs in 14 years. You earned no right to be there, where the Buffalo Bills have had some playoff success. Step one. Nobody in an entire NHL franchise, from the coach to all the way down, has a unicorn-type player. I don't care about Tage Thompson. He's not in the same bar as Josh Allen. So you can't treat them the same way.
Fine. Josh is off the table. Talk to me about the other 52
Go for
players
it.
on the
Go
team.
for it. If you want to have that conversation, that's totally fine. I've got no problem with that, because you can sit there and say, you haven't even got us to the championship. You haven't earned the right. But Josh Allen is that was the conversation we started with, was whether Josh Allen was going to get.
You picked Josh when I said that you go into the locker room and you immediately say you can't say that to Josh, so you can't say it to anybody. That's what I said. I said you walk into the locker room and that's what you say. You hold the team accountable for something that they have to do.
I get that, but they've had successful runs. They've done their job. They've gotten beaten out by,
because Kyle says they're not successful as an organization.
I get it, because well, how do we measure success? By championships. There are 31 franchises that just don't win.
How many banners outside of an AFC East championship
I get
are
it.
hanging?
I get it. But there is still solace in having winning seasons, getting into the playoffs. You're right. I mean, they haven't got over the hump, but they also haven't been in a drought for 14 years.
They should have kept McDermott, not fired.
That's kind of what I said. That's what I said. If that's what you wanted, that was the argument I was making.
Yeah, but
you had that guy, and you let him go. So that's not a priority.
So the changes, that's what I'm talking about. We're asking about what's different. That's what's different. It's not good enough just to get in to do those things. It's not good enough not to hold somebody accountable that you're going to do that. You have to sit there, and everybody has to go for it. And I'm not saying that they're not doing. I think this is more of just a philosophical, like, Pagula had to do something because of the way that the two of them were
fractured. We got that.
It was fractured. You had to make a choice.
We got that.
The choice was to go with Bean because he believed that whatever vision Bean had moving forward was the vision that most aligned with probably what he wanted to see, and probably what was best for Josh.
Is Bean a snake in sheep's clothing?
No.
You have all. We are now all in on Bean.
Do you think that Bean and McDermott had a fractured relationship for the entire time they were here?
No,
I don't believe that.
No, I'm sure.
I believe it's developed over time, and I developed when they made a choice to switch the pendulum over. And I think they would still be fine if McDermott was probably willing to bring this pendulum back to the middle a little bit more. But I don't think anybody here, I kept asking the question, when you bring Sean McDermott in for his year end, what are you going to do differently next year? You all told me he's going to say, I'm going to keep running the ball.
Yeah. It worked, though. It's not like they were banging their head against a wall.
Tim, did it work for you?
You got 4 teams left in the playoffs and only one rusher that finished in the top 15.
Wow.
Kyron Williams is the only rusher that finished in the top 15. Kenneth Walker's number 16.
I know.
At the end of the day,
it's a passing offense.
You're not winning a ship.
Right.
Running the ball.
But you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have a healthy Josh Allen if he's going to be superhero.
How healthy was he? He had a hurt finger,
I know,
a foot, and a knee,
a back, a face.
All of those occurred because he didn't just hand the ball off. Do you see what I'm saying? Now we're going to triple that.
He got killed in Houston, and he wasn't running the ball in Houston. He sat back there and got his ass handed to him.
I know.
Because they didn't have a passing game.
They learned from that.
Well, no, because you had an offensive line.
What did they learn?
You had an offensive line geared towards run blocking, not pass blocking.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to put my season ticket holder hat on. You just charged me a shit ton of money for a new stadium. You damn well better not hire me Sean McDermott 2.0.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Like,
that's so.
Like you can't like I.
That's
as
good.
much as I think this move is needed, you can't tell me that you made this move without having an idea in mind what direction.
Do you think they already have somebody?
The fact that you're
yes.
10
I think they have a
hours
short
in,
list.
I think
and
they
you
have a
haven't
couple
heard
options.
anything, tells me that they think they got someone.
That's why they cut him so quick after this loss?
No, I think they have somebody because I'll go back to you had a power struggle. Most likely, if Pagula has any sense, which he runs a business, and I think he has more sense than people give him credit for, you go to your two people and tell me what you're doing next. And Bean can't just sit there and say, well, we got to get rid of the coach. Okay, then what's your next? You have to have somebody. You can't sit there and say, okay, we're going to get rid of McDermott, and I don't have somebody better.
How long before they unveil this person?
you know what?
After the Super Bowl?
You can't. You have to have.
You're behind the eight
You
ball.
have multiple interviews, and to be honest with you, the person that they might have, you might need to be patient and not hire the person until after the Super Bowl.
Correct.
Correct. I mean, you're at the point now. At this point, if someone hasn't been interviewed by a team, you can't interview them until the year's done. So even if you wanted Kubiak from Seattle, if they go to the Super Bowl, you can't interview them to February 9th till their season's done.
There's a week in between the Super Bowl,
No.
I think. Can't?
If you interviewed them already,
You can?
you can.
Okay.
But now that the fact that we're at this point and we haven't interviewed them yet, we can't talk
Right.
until after the Super Bowl.
But we're
Which-
under the impression that these
but-
guys are going to go by the book. There are side conversations. There's information
You
being
don't want
out
to lose
there.
picks anymore and money.
I get it, but
No.
it's not hard to pick up a phone.
One thing that I think why you can be patient with Buffalo. Who's going to sit there and say, "Well, no, I'm going to go get this other job
Yeah,
now
I
because
agree.
I can't." Like, they're the one job that you hold out for.
Yeah.
You're not Tennessee Titans that is just trying to find somebody.
Right.
Miami just
Like,
hired their
to be-
coach since we've been on this pod.
Okay.
What?
Who'd they get?
They hired the Green Bay defensive coordinator, Halfley.
Okay.
Wow.
Don't think he was one of our top picks.
I
So,
think
sure.
if you hired a defensive coordinator with no experience, that
Someone would be
Buffalo
giving
flip
up his
upside
tickets. Yeah. I mean, I think that's not a big deal. It's one less job.
let's ask Blackout what he thinks about that.
Right.
He's not on here.
Yeah, well, next time.
Well, Miami's defense was great last year.
I get it. I
mean, Green
agree.
Bay.
They do have some runway to make that decision. And if they want to wait till post Super Bowl, as long as they get the right guy that they think they want, I think you'd be foolish for them to make a decision like this and not to have at least three guys in mind that you're on speed dial that you envision being the coach.
So I'd be shocked if you got one, let alone two people tell you no.
Oh.
I would also be shocked. That's not a hot take there. I think you're a playoff team. How many playoff teams? Pittsburgh, Buffalo.
Pittsburgh has no quarterback.
No, I know. But how many playoff teams let their coach go?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh and us.
That's it?
Well, technically, Pittsburgh, you could argue their coach stepped away.
Mutual. So the bottom line is you already have a ready-to-go playoff team. Our job with a stud quarterback, a running back, our job is what Kyle said, what everyone is waiting and holding out for.
And most coaches get fired because they go to a job, there's no quarterback. They don't find a quarterback, and they continue to lose because there's no quarterback.
Yes.
Which I always find hard to
So-
believe when that's not the head coach's fault unless he's the one drafting.
It's just you win. You got to win.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is if you don't work hand in hand with your GM, a GM builds a roster, but yet you're the
Builds
coach
your roster.
that you have to mold and make it work when you didn't have a hand in picking who you wanted,
I think he picked everybody he wanted.
and he couldn't make it work, and that's why he's gone.
You can't look at that wide receiver room and say that was McDermott running that, or Bean said that's the best six guys I can get. That
We'll find
that
out, right?
didn't fit. They all fit the game plan that he wanted to run.
Is it possible that you're
like
wrong?
that's the no, like it's possible I'm wrong, but think about it this way. The guys that everybody complained about at wide receiver all fit the system that the Bills were
I
currently
complained about
running.
every single one of them except for Shakir.
But even down to Shakir, he fits the system they want to run.
Yeah, but he's not a blocking wide receiver. He did make a block.
But he fits.
But
He fits the Cole Beasley mold
okay.
of just
Safety
underneath,
valve.
catch the ball.
well,
yak.
I think every team needs that
He
guy.
fits
though.
the yak. He wanted. You talked about McDermott said he wanted yak. He didn't want air yards down the field. He wanted more receivers that caught the ball and ran. Guess what? He went out and found guys that statistically before that, whether you like it or not, did that stuff.
Okay, speaking of wide receivers, who is as good as gone? Palmer, Samuel.
Samuel, I think, is at the end of his contract. Palmer's got.
Samuel. You save $5 million if he goes.
He goes and he's
Palmer, I'm not sure what his contract is. So
Palmer just signed, so I think it hurts if he goes.
So I think
So Palmer, I think's back.
Palmer-
I think if Palmer's gone, it's going to be one of those you're eating some dead cap space.
Do you think a new coach uses Keon Coleman as a reclamation project? I'm serious.
I saw this that Bean was the ones that wanted Bean out are diving in on that Bean's only going to hire a coach that can make Keon Coleman great. No, I think he's spent his time.
Okay.
So back
You think
to,
he's gone?
But I don't think he was supposed to be. The expectations that I have for Keon Coleman and everybody else in Buffalo for the most part are totally different.
So you did not have Keon Coleman as your number one superstar?
No.
Okay.
Not when you traded out of the first round twice.
Okay.
So
You can't sit there and tell me that he loved the pick when he traded out of it twice.
You agree with that, Tim? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So back to Palmer.
Yeah. Arnold Palmer.
11.2 million if you cut him. In
Oh
dead
my
cap scale.
God.
11.8 if you
3-year.
keep him. He costs you $600,000 to keep him, and I would kind of argue that I don't know if you could find a better wide receiver for $600K.
No, if he's healthy, we never saw him really healthy.
And next year you save $6 million. After next year.
Is Ogunjobi gone after this too?
Oh, he's
he was
gone.
on a 1 year.
He's gone
anyways.
before he started.
And
a
Hoyt
free-
is here for two
Yes.
more?
Two more.
So if you go
Joey
back to
Bosa gone?
Bosa's a tough one because
Bosa,
I'm shocked.
Him and
I will
Milano-
say I was shocked on how he did this
him
year.
and Milano kind of hit
In a good way.
Which
but he
way?
was good until he broke his hand.
One, he stayed healthy for the most part, and up until like the last two games, he
Had
was
an
a
impact.
factor, and then shit the bed the last two games.
So
I would say if you look at his splits halfway through the season, it was when
he hurt his
lost.
hand.
But that's how he was for LA the year prior to.
What do they say? The old guys are good in the first half, and then they fall off the boat on the second half of the season. They get tired.
Well, that was the MO on Diggs, right?
So
It's true.
I think a lot of these guys on the roster, you can't even comment on them until you see what they do for coach.
I can't wait to have the next pod, whenever that is. I don't know what we're doing yet. Actually, it's going to be the chicken wing party meeting first, when we can all say, he gone. He gone. He gone. He gone. We need Herb for that one. He gone.
But I think you don't know. I mean, you look at a lot of these defensive players, they're here because they fit what McDermott wanted.
Right.
I'm not sold that you're going to hire a coach that's going to bring a defensive philosophy that is going to stick with what McDermott wanted.
Well, part of the reason that everybody wanted Bean gone was because of the construction of the defense.
Correct.
Correct.
And that's my point. You just automatically blamed the GM when I think it was the coach that was telling the GM what type of player he wanted.
I get it.
Correct.
So, based on who gets cut and stays, will determine
I think
who
tells
picked
you
them?
a lot more.
Right.
I think it tells you a lot more, and it goes to the whole accountability conversation we talked about with the Sabres.
Which I was lost on.
You walked in and you said none. Well, here how it is. The Buffalo Sabres were all Kevin Adams players. For Adams to move any of the Buffalo Sabres was an indictment on Kevin Adams that he made the wrong
100%.
choice.
I understand
right?
that. Yep. Same thing here.
Yarmo getting rid of any of the Buffalo Sabres currently right now is an indictment on Kevin Adams and not on Yarmo. Yarmo could give two shits.
How long is he waiting to do some of these moves? When's the trade deadline?
March 6th.
You can't do anything until the season ends, which is, I think, close to the end of February, right?
Are we talking about? We're talking about NFL, right?
NFL?
Okay.
No, I'm talking about NHL.
Yeah, March
For
6th
second.
is a trade deadline.
So he's got, a month or two.
They did go on the first 3 wins of that pretty big streak was while Adams was still a GM.
Correct,
but I understand
technically a GM.
I understand your
There
take.
were already reports out that he was gone.
Right. I do understand your take.
He was gone. Before that 3-game loss, they
Right.
lost horribly in Calgary.
Right. But you can't just for like my last parting shot about that take. You can't have that same conversation because you have a guy like Josh Allen in your room, and if you can't, everyone else but Allen, it kills your argument.
Listen, you're going to have a hard time. Any coach that you are going to bring in, and why I'm a little bit leery on bringing in somebody new, is going to have a hard time because McDermott was loved. So whoever you're going to keep,
That's what Miss Sean said.
Whoever you're going to keep, you're going to have to get over that.
Or get the support of Josh, which is where Gable comes in.
Right.
Just saying.
Either one way or another.
Did you say Clark Gable?
Yes.
No.
Going with the win.
Right. You have to have somebody that can come in and win over the locker room, win over the players that are pissed.
Fuck, I can't wait to see who they
McDermott's
pick.
gone.
That's where the ring
This
comes
is a big
in.
decision.
It's easier to sell that with a ring on your finger. That's why I think a lot of the fan base is leaning more towards that.
I just don't.
I get it.
If you're
I know.
gonna tell me somebody with
I
a
know.
ring that's actually.
I know.
How big is really this decision?
The ring. Okay, did Mike McCarthy with a ring? How did that work out in Dallas?
Oh,
get it.
God, that was bad for him.
I get it.
You got McCarthy and Tomlin are your two most notable coaches with the ring, and I don't want to touch either of them.
How monumental is this decision going to be?
I'm telling you right
You're
now.
either close to going back to being irrelevant Buffalo Bills or Super Bowl and rip down
Hey,
Buffalo.
Like,
At least we can get top 15 picks.
but I mean, this could be the
That's
year the
great.
music dies. if you
Great
pick the wrong-
podcast talk. Great content for the podcast.
I will say it does take stones to finally put yourself in that position because they knew that. They knew
Yeah,
we're going to
there
go
is.
one way or another.
There is no in between.
I know but there is. Let's run it back. Let's run it back. Like we said, almost for 3 consecutive years. It does take some stones to sit there and say we're willing to mortgage the future of the Buffalo Bills and take a gargantuan step back and blow up everything instead of replaying it year after year after year.
But here's my question: what happens if that best candidate you want says, "I don't want to work with Brandon Bean"?
Oh, boy.
No, like I'm being serious. Like I kind of feel like you kind of pigeonholed yourself here. Or is him getting
don't.
promoted to
Then
president slash GM?
hold on, why would he interview then if he doesn't want to work with
Or
with
is
Bean?
him getting
Well,
promoted
that'd
to
be
president?
Bill Belichick would say that.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy who
But-
got hired this year,
Well, look at Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. That's what I was thinking.
Cohen
Yep.
said no.
Yeah,
I
but
won't go there with Belky.
yes.
They
So-
had a crappy.
But did Bean get also get the president of football ops?
No.
So that then if
Oh,
you hire a new coach that says I want a different GM,
No.
Bean's got a landing spot?
No. Bean's not going
Maybe.
to fire himself.
No, I know. I understand where you're coming
The
from.
president of
Like if
football
That is a Bagula type move.
if Clint Kubiak says I'll come here, but now with Bean.
100% he's in charge, and it was also said that he's picking the next coach.
I-
So to be honest with you, he's not going to pick the coach that's going to say you're gone.
yeah.
So
Right?
But you understand.
You're not
But
going to
you
hire
could
that
also
guy.
limit your pool.
the next
Maybe.
guy,
You can.
if you're a hunter,
Maybe.
the target is now squarely only on Bean going forward. Like the scope is on him.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, so I'm not necessarily sure I agree with you in terms of could he sit there and say, I want this guy, he doesn't want to work with me, he has that right to say that. I'm still going to bring him in. I'll take the president's job. You do whatever. I mean, because I'm still going to get credit. I'm still going to be here. He at least keeps all of his options open because he knows there's no more wiggle room. The next man out is him.
I just want to.
I would think so.
I
He's
just
the
wanna-
common
I
denominator.
just want to know who is fine. I'll bring this guy in. The guy that
I know.
in Jacksonville,
I
that guy
know.
still isn't there.
I know.
He was gone.
But I'll tell you,
And the owner fired the
I
GM.
get it. I did. I totally understand. I know what you're saying.
And the owner fired the GM because no one wanted to fucking
I
go to
get it.
Jacksonville.
I told 100%. I get it. And look how it turned out. They got themselves to the playoffs. They turned themselves into a decent franchise.
I get that, but that's a different thing. No
Totally.
one wanted to go there.
Totally.
If you came in and you
I
said,
I
"Hey,
understand.
I know you're interviewing me for the job, But fuck you. You're fired.
There's a
and I'm getting the job.
There's a 99%
but
chance.
You got to give me the job.
That's not going to happen. But
exactly.
I'm just saying.
So I don't know why we're entertaining it.
It's very much a Pagula type thing to do. I know, but you never know.
It's insane for me to sit there and think like,
I know.
I'm interviewing for a job with a guy, and I'm going to tell him,
can you agree?
You're gone.
Though? I know.
You're gone. But before you go,
I know.
make sure you hire me because I'm going to pick somebody else.
I get it. Can you?
Who the hell's saying
I
yes
got
to that?
But can you agree that in the last calendar year that has happened in the Professional Football League?
No.
It happened in Jacksonville.
It did not happen in Jacksonville.
Verbatim.
No, it didn't. The owner fired the GM, not the guy that's still there.
Correct. But, I mean, under the same situation.
You would have to go to Pagula and sit there and say,
I'm only coming if you fire Bean.
If you fire Bean. And Pagula's already said that Bean's in charge of hiring the next coach.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. So I get it. I
yes,
mean, that's a long shot, but it has happened.
In theory, if
recently.
No one wanted to come coach the Buffalo Bills.
I get it.
And you were at a desperate spot and you had your last ditch option of the guy that you kind of wanted, went to the owner and said, hey, the GM's inept.
This is not a franchise.
Then
that's
Pagula would have to turn around and say,
100%.
yeah, I know he was this and that.
I get it.
He's now gone.
But Pagula's desperate enough to bring a championship where I could see him.
He ain't doing that.
I know he's not doing it, but
No
it's not something that's completely off the table.
I don't see
and
it
I'm
happening.
just telling you,
I don't see it happening, and I don't see Bean being... Their GM in Jacksonville was laughed at.
Yeah, I understand.
Was absolutely like...
I get
was
it.
Flabbergasted that he was still there.
I get it. I understand.
Outside of our local, right now, it's not every... and a few people that do local radio that kind of have said stuff, oh, it's roster, blah, 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 blah. For the national narrative, Bean isn't what everybody is locally.
I get it.
He's got more clout. I mean, you get rid of him and bring in Von Miller as your GM? Or?
Oh, my God. No. Let that guy stick with raising chickens or whatever the hell he does. Is that what he is? Chicken farmer?
Chicken farmer.
Yeah.
I just don't. I know there was he's this and everybody's. I don't see it.
We will find out, right?
Yeah.
I don't. If you read the third paragraph of the Bills
Should we do that?
Basically, is what.
Does anybody have it available to read it out loud?
Sure.
Because there's some shit in there that you probably could dissect, right?
Right. The statement reads. We talked a lot before we got to that statement. The statement reads this. It's actually quite a pretty bigger than most teams. Usually it's we just to let you know, we let so-and-so go. Thank you for your service. Next. 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs. The Buffalo Bills announced that Sean McDermott has been relieved of his duties as head coach. Sean has done an admirable job of leading our football team for the past 9 years. Terry Pagula had said that. But I feel interesting that he's taken it on here, but I feel we are in need of a new structure.
Time out.
Yep.
Did Bean write this?
Well, it's quoting Terry, so whether Bean wrote it or not.
He's talking third person?
I don't think so. So I think this is probably Terry who wrote this, as it probably
He
should.
wrote Terry in there, though. Terry said.
Said owner Terry Pagula. I mean, yes, that's a direct quote.
So
This is all. This whole. Yes.
So it's not Terry Pagula writing this.
Yes, it is Terry Pagula.
What? Why would he say I?
Sean, because it's end quote, comma said owner Terry Pagula. Period. Continue with the quote. But I feel we are in need of a new structure within our leadership to give us, our organization, the best opportunity to take our team to the next level. We owe that to our players and to Bills Mafia.
Wow, Bob.
Sean helped change the mindset of the organization and was instrumental in the Bills becoming a perennial playoff team. I respect all the work, loyalty, and attention to detail he's shown for that team and the community. I wish Sean, Jamie, and his family all the best. Quote, and this is what Joe was talking about. Moving forward, Brandon Beane will now serve as president of football operations, general manager of the Buffalo Bills. Brandon will oversee all facets of our football operation, including the oversight of our coaching staff. I have full faith in and have witnessed Brandon's outstanding leadership style and have confidence in his ability to lead our organization. Bean will be leading the search for the new head coach and will be working directly with Pagula That was the end of the statement. This is just the add-on kind of summary of it all. So after that, Bean will be leading the search for a new head coach, and will be working directly with Pegula and Pete Ganelli, who will now serve as president of business operation during the interview and hiring process.
So my last question is, when Brandon Bean hires a new coach, and say you still don't get to the Super Bowl,
Does on the hot seat?
Yes.
Bean is.
I'm not sitting here saying that he's got a long runway.
I'm just saying, like, how many years do you give the coach? Like, do you and I decide if this coach has a great pedigree?
I think it depends on if it's a tire fire within like a year or two, or you're just at it. You have to actually let it play out before it can.
Well, right. How long do they let it play out before?
Yeah.
And then who's the scapegoat then? Is it Bean?
100%.
Pegula says Bean's done.
100%.
Yeah,
We fired the other coach who was here 9 years, got you to one AFC championship, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Now it is,
Right,
we realize
now
it is
you're-
you.
Now you're in a
Okay.
clean house.
Okay.
Coach and GM are gone.
And not to...
Is Babbage safe right now?
Oh, no, nobody's safe, short of Bean, per that article, and Pegula, who owns the team.
Oh, so Bean is going to wipe the coordinators and...
Yeah.
Could be.
coach is
You
going
don't know.
to-
Oh,
He's
by the
going
way,
to...
folks, Aaron Cromer also did retire, if you didn't see that, but it sounds like he was already
Okay.
planning to retire.
Yeah.
New coach to dictate
Yes.
who comes back and who doesn't.
100%, which is their right. They usually tend to
Unless
bring
you're
in
Lindy
their guy.
Ruff, then you don't.
Right.
And odds are McDermott
To
can
a
take
point.
half the roster, half the coaching staff with him wherever he goes.
If they like him.
Which, correct. But I mean, in reality,
He's earned that
to
right,
the
too.
Bills, that saves them money.
Yeah.
Did you see how much money he makes compared to the other coaches in the playoffs?
Peanuts.
McDermott?
Yeah.
I saw he makes like $11 million.
Yeah, but look at
The other guys were making like 3 to 5.
well, Ben Johnson just got $12 million a year to go to the Bears.
Oh shit!
Like at the end of the day,
Yeah,
you're
Harbaugh was
probably
what, 20
You're
mil?
probably going to pay more money for your new head coach than you were paying McDermott.
You know what?
And at the end of the day, Pegula probably hopes he gets hired because then it'll offset what he owes him.
Has an NFL team, I'm talking to you, all 32 teams, have you ever considered a brain trust for head coach? Hire the Zob Bills podcast, and we will split $4 million between 8 of us.
Good plug. Yeah, put us out there.
And we'll enter the drought years.
For you.
Rather quickly.
For you.
Except we are good at time management.
We do. Absolutely.
All right. Anyone else got anything else to say before we cap this?
I'll throw it out one more thing out to the panel because I'm curious.
You're shouting out our sponsors?
I will in a second. Where does McDermott go?
AFC North.
It's a safe bet.
Agree. Pittsburgh or Baltimore?
I don't know. As much as they say that, he is very much Tomlin, and
Right.
you moved on from that. And I think
They probably don't want
he
that
doesn't fit what I know. Pittsburgh is the one where everybody says it, but Pittsburgh has traditionally hired a 30-year-old that hasn't done anything, and they've kept him for 20 years.
Right.
And I don't think the owner of Baltimore wants to bring in McDermott either, right?
I think he's too close to Harbaugh.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I
could see
think
Baltimore going with like some fancy college coach or something.
we're also.
I think Baltimore's got some serious issues of how it's structured, and that's a interesting. To be a fly on the wall in Baltimore right now is different. You have Lamar, $75 million dead cap, or $75 million cap.
Is he
hit
gone?
next year? No, the owner said that he's got to extend him, so I think they want to keep him. But if you keep him, you got to hope that this was a one-off, that he wasn't, that he didn't run the ball as well as he did because he was injured this year, and then that was just a freak occurrence. Or
You got to know when to fold them.
yeah, I mean, right? I mean, Vic they have a running first quarterback has a shorter ceiling. You know what I mean?
Shelf life, for sure.
Shelf life than everybody else.
I do think we got to make sure we add at least McDermott's going to have a say in where he wants to go. He's earned that right. He's going to probably be able to pick where he wants to go. Baltimore would be my best guess. So we want to dig deeper to the AFC North. I think it all being equal, defense, history, of having a strong defense plus having a legit former
so let me
MVP
ask you
quarterback,
this.
I think he would pick
the
Baltimore.
teams that are available, that don't have a coach right now, who's got the best defense of all the teams? Cleveland?
Yes.
Maybe he goes there.
Oh man,
I think they were going to hire their own.
yeah.
Within?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah,
know
but
about that.
McDermott worked with Barry in Philly, so
Why hire a
GM.
defensive guy if you already have a good defense? Is my problem with that.
Because they got rid of an offensive coach. Typically, you don't
That's
get
funny,
rid of
they
a
had a-
defensive coach and hire another defensive coach. Usually, you
I get
get
it.
rid of defensive coach.
Look at the
and hire
Bills.
an OC.
They've hired the same style every
So-
time.
Right.
Except for who?
Rex.
No, Rex was defense. Marone was defense.
no.
Who was that dude that
offensive
came
line.
out?
Marone
was offensive line.
was offensive line.
What about the dude that came out of?
Shane Gailey.
Gailey.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or no, who's the other guy? Phillips, was he defense or offensive?
Defense.
Yeah. Bum.
So
Who? What about the other 12 guys? I can't think of.
Not important, Kyle.
Yeah.
Typically, when you make a huge shift like that, not a 3 or 4, you know what I mean? Not like the thank you for your 3 or 4 years worth of service. We're in a
You know what's
totally
crazy?
different-
The day before he got fired, I just saw something on the internet that said that he was the second longest tenured coach. And
Tied.
then,
McVay and Shanahan.
Tied.
and then
Yeah.
cut. See ya. You go.
So
What?
before we close this out,
What do
should
you got?
I
Final
McDermott's statement to NFL Network
When did
Go
that
for
come
it.
out?
just now?
Go ahead, brother.
Oh, shit.
Your turn to read.
So here's his letter to Bills Mafia.
Okay.
For nearly a decade, I've had the opportunity to wake up every morning as the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, which has truly been a gift. I want to express my sincere gratitude and appreciation to the Pagula family, the Buffalo Bills organization, and to the fans for allowing me to live out the dream of being a head coach in the NFL in this incredible special place. I'm proud and humbled to have worked alongside amazing staff and players as we have shared life together and poured our hearts and souls into both winning football games and making a positive impact in our community. This community graciously embraced not only me, but my family, and in some ways helped raise our children over the last 9 years. For that, I say thank you to all the teachers, coaches, and friends whom we met along the way, the city of good neighbors. We love you. We will miss Buffalo. Bills Mafia, you're one of one. It has been a joy and inspiration to witness your passion and commitment firsthand. I always wanted our teams to play with the same level of toughness and grit that is true to Buffalo and that you demonstrate every day. God gave me and my family an incredible opportunity, one that we will cherish for the rest of our lives. Yes, you know that he has a plan. Thank you for allowing me to serve as your head coach. God bless, Sean McDermott.
Classy.
Tell you
move.
what, he went on a high note.
Very classy.
That's classy.
Yep.
Nice.
I wouldn't. That's not a shock. Like
No.
that he would go out there and have that sort of message to the fans, because that's kind of what he has demonstrated, and that's when we talk about bringing a culture. It's you lead by example. He willed that culture here to Buffalo. So props. We wish Sean McDermott, great name by the way, the best. Just we're hoping we get a Super Bowl before he does, but he was a fantastic hire.
Oh, guess who's in the chat?
Uh-oh.
Long live King Cobra JFS.
Oh, man.
Patriots are your daddies forever. Yeah. This fucking guy.
That's okay.
Show him what you're wearing.
Here you go, buddy. There.
You got anything else on under that?
No. I do
All right.
not. So that's what we got bringing to the table.
Last question. Is there a possibility the Bills bring in a coach or a player coach like a Vrabel, Nico
Collins?
Davis Webb.
Is that the best option?
No.
I was just curious, because honestly, look what Vrabel did.
Yeah, but that because he's part of the culture.
No one.
Yeah,
He's
part
in
of
it
the culture.
still.
Yeah, he's in it.
I know.
Playing
in it.
no one.
But that he already
in
had
it.
direct ties with experience of coaching. I mean, so that made more sense than just bringing
Just ask
some.
the
I
question if
know.
somebody like
I
that
know.
was available.
So my
I'm gonna say
People
no.
in the Patriots are the definition of you need luck to get to the Super Bowl.
I'm glad this guy's on. That's not why I asked it either. But.
Yeah, I'm saying specifically for that.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
You played a 4th place. You're playing the top 10 draft pick of a season.
Right.
You played C.J. Stroud with no Nico Collins, and Schultz went out right away. He couldn't do anything.
And you're
the
playing a
offensive
quarterback
line-
with a broken ankle.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, I know. You're right.
I didn't get that on film, by the way.
So
All right. What else you guys got? Anything else? Or
I think McDermott's time was successful here, and I thank him for all of his time here.
I think his legacy, which we're now talking about now, I think it'll age well. That's my last shot.
hopefully his culture will continue on.
Yes.
And I wish him best of luck in the future.
Yep.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Bills.
Go Bills.
Be good, do good. God bless, and go Bills.
You just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
The Za Bills podcast is naturally assembled by Kmart Studio Productions. Sponsored by Doug's Chiropractic and MJB Electric. Thank you for listening. If you haven't already, please rate, review, and leave a comment. It certainly won't hurt. Executively produced. Executive sound engineering. Fundraising. Music. Lighting. Recruiting. Treasury. Pizza. Costume design. All by yours truly, me, Kyle. And all artwork was created by Avery and Mark Deshawn.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Please drive carefully, arrive home safely. Good night. Yeah, baby. Yeah.